And recording.
You're recording? I'm not at my desk.
Well,
nice shot of the dream house in the dark.
Yeah.
for the chair.
The Dream House in the Dark, a Barbie horror movie.
Dream House in the Dark. Sounds like a great level or a great episode name.
Just do like Barbie parodies of popular horror movies. Last Dream House on the left.
Oh my goodness.
Sweet.
Okay.
A Quiet Place, but with Barbie.
A Barbie place.
Yes.
I want to watch a Barbie place. Okay. Oh my goodness, close your eyes.
No.
This is not a Barbie fairy tale. This is definitely not. Barbie limbs flopping all over the place.
Oh jeez.
No blood, just like the socket coming out.
Yeah. Makes me think of the moment in Jurassic Park when, like, I can't even remember who it is, but Samuel L. Jackson's character's arm just comes out like of the wall.
Yes, yes. Oh, I'm so glad you're. Oh my goodness, it's plastic. It's just like, if it was like real life, like, oh my goodness, it's plastic, and then Samuel L. Jackson comes walking out. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Just hide in some corner, just laughing his butt off. We totally fell for it.
Well, we can try to get started, but this is going to be the most aimless session we've ever had. So
Excellent.
Shara is muted. I don't know if she's trying to talk to us, but okay. So it's...
Do we want to wait? Do we need like more finding out more information about where Frederick's staying at the prison this time?
Heck yeah, I'm ready for a prison break.
Wait till next time to do any of that.
You say let's not? Okay.
Like asking David, like.
I might be able to manage if I needed to. Like, I have some stuff, but not nearly as much as I would have wanted ready. But I could manage if we really need to. At least I hope I could.
Let's see, we got on the list, man. We got like plot hooks all over the place.
So harsh.
We still have to find what's his face. William Arth.
Yeah.
William Arth took off and left. We gotta find him. Wow, these are some great notes that I didn't take. Most notes I took were down to 13 drinks that I owe Roy.
Well, Leomar is gone. Jamie's in the Shadowfell. There's the guy in the Underdark. There's the goblin in the slums that are, I don't know, attacking people or being attacked or something. Something's happening over there. We're still meeting with Saki at some point. Saki? Yeah. still meeting with him at some point. So, I mean, there's a lot. Oh, cool.
Yeah, you guys are in the driver's seat. I have no idea where this is gonna go or how it's gonna work. We'll figure it out. I hope. With any luck, we will figure it out.
I have a feeling I need to stir this. We can start.
So I sent that, did you want to say that I sent that note to Frederick via Nip while they were on their adventure? Well,
I
they're just
would imagine that's probably when that would have happened. Hold on a second.
Okay. There we go.
Let's see. Trying to think of where me and Jisoo are during this, because we were meeting up.
To check out like magic and armor shop.
Yeah.
Maybe find a guy who can work with wood.
Yeah. Do that hardwood
So
stuff.
were you meeting me back at the inn first and then heading, or?
I don't remember. Even whenever we did it, it kind of talked about meeting somewhere in the streets versus meeting back at the inn and then going somewhere. I was wandering around and stabbed a guy in the eye with a skewer.
You can just meet me back at the inn and then we can go there.
Okay. That'll work.
Can we say during that time, David, I've been doing the like where I spend 2 spell slots and then recover them for the healing potions, maybe like 2 or 3 times.
Sure, yeah.
Cool. How much time do you think that would?
Each time we were talking about how long it took. I don't remember.
I know it's a short rest.
Yeah, a short rest will, like, for us, run maybe 15-20 minutes. And let's see. And for whatever reason, healing elixir is not in my spellbook app. That's obnoxious. But I was just telling you. It takes like 1 minute and a spell slot each time you cast it.
You know,
So.
Aw,
Like,
I
you
know
can
that
cast
feeling.
it a couple of times, rest for about 20 minutes. Like, basically, it would take you 22 minutes to half an hour to make a couple of them.
Yeah.
And then have more slots again.
Yeah.
You could do that a few times depending on how long you're spending on it.
Because it just depends on what time of the day it is and such. Me just say I have like 4.
Yeah, I don't remember quite where we left off. Let's see.
it was before noon because I was waiting for everybody to leave before I came out,
Right.
and then Jisoo had his freaking disguised self on, and bumped into me while I was eating breakfast.
Yeah.
Jerk. And then I started walking around. So it's round about that time.
We just say it's like 2 hours, and I can have like 4. Like just, just
Yeah, you can make 2 every half hour or so. So if you spent 2 hours on it, then you'd be like
Nice.
Money saver.
Woohoo!
Like if you don't use them within the next 24 hours,
Yeah.
then they just turn back into water. But
Let's go kill something.
Let's go free the goblins.
I was gonna say we got goblins. Let's go. I'm ready for an ambush.
yeah,
2 RPs.
Joseph, how do you do an ambush? The goblins.
yeah.
I can ambush them myself. Timber.
Yeah, sorry.
That's right. I'm just trying to think of like. I should have done a Woody Woodpecker.
But yeah, Mouse, I would say that when Nip comes back with the note, it has been torn into places to mark things. There is a little bit of writing on the back, but not much. Just kind of to try to keep from being too incriminating in case anybody found it, since he doesn't have illusory script in order to disguise the wording. But the tears in order are for no, it was an accident.
Sure.
Private side work, yes. Assistance needed ASAP, and I am heavily guarded. And on the back, he's written, paid but believe in the job, missed you, L, and that's it.
He's lying. Inside check on the newspaper.
They're really hard at it.
This isn't his handwriting.
It's a trap. It's Garen. He knows. He knows. Let's see.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Add Admiral Akbar to the soundboard.
It's a trap!
So his face pop up in the recording.
Just like then, whenever you guys make perception checks to find traps, if you find one, that's all it's just like, it's a trap.
It's a trap. I knew it. Okay. Jeez. Okay, let's see. Distance-wise, what was that? Okay, I was gonna say distance-wise. How far away is the the goblin trouble that we were talking about, or that we heard about?
The goblin slums are the primary ones. The biggest ones are off in one of the wings of the city that are kind of underneath the mountain.
Okay.
Not the one that the Kurwihi safe house was. The opposite side.
Okay. And then Coolest, the mine that he ran down.
Yeah, that was outside of town.
Outside of town. Okay.
Oh man, it is so dark out here.
Ooh.
You could turn the light on.
I could if I were downstairs.
Where's the fun in that?
Well.
Oh no! Lock the gate.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just have my hands full. Ha ha. Okay.
Let's see. And how far
Flashlight.
away? Let's see. How far? What was the other one? Oh yeah. How far away is Kaidan Port? Just kidding. Just kidding. I know that's too far for one day.
Yeah. That'd be quite a journey.
It'd be so much fun. I want to figure out that stupid ship.
Yeah.
There's
Let's
gotta
see.
be something to it at least.
Well, yeah, you know. And Vontus Whitehand, his rebellion, that's in Tamari, right?
Yes. No, not Tamari. That was Hadlin.
Oh, Hadlin. Gotcha.
Whitehand's rebellion has taken control of Volthrim, which is one of the larger cities.
Oh.
Wait, that's Hadlin, right?
Here. Yeah.
Told you.
You said Tamari.
It this. Not it.
I don't have a map. I don't know where any of this crap is.
Oh. Hi back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I'm back? Yeah, okay.
And
Yay!
we're back! Hey, look
Yeah.
at that timing.
Now it's a party. All right, what do you guys want to do?
I just don't want to be selfish. I know what I want to do, but I don't want to be selfish.
Yeah, it's kind of rough whenever we got two of us that
What
are
was the last word? What was the last word on your uncle?
He's missing.
That he's missing.
He's AWOL.
Yeah.
So what are all the things we want to do, and then we'll figure out what we want to do.
I had an idea. I wondered
Okay.
about like sending a message with maybe some gold to our wolf assassin lady's friend's husband and say, hey, we might be getting into some trouble on around this time. If you want to head over to gate and back us up, kind of a thing. Like when the deadline comes,
Oh,
so we could have
I see.
her
Like send a message out to Kona.
Takona's husband.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
Because
the
he's
is his name?
stationary, and send him some money to help with their situation, and then ask if she could come back us up when the Piper comes due.
That's a good idea. Maybe we
Okay,
could
I'll
also
work
get in
on
touch
writing
with.
that up.
Maybe
Okay.
we could also get in touch with Bronwyn and Soreth.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Start mustering forces.
See, I remember telling you where Bronwyn and Sorth were headed. I think they were headed
Yeah,
to Keld
they
Kavar,
went-
right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Just remember, unless we're in the back room, don't say this to Monty or Jesse.
Keld Kavar.
You don't want to get scarred on.
Yep.
It's embarrassing.
Are we just gonna have like a weekly meet or a nightly meeting in the room, just to
Yeah.
catch everybody up? So this is where we stand on this.
Right.
I stand on my feet. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Standing on my feet.
Okay, so I'll send out those letters.
Cool.
Say, hey, we're coming up against something. If you're available, we would really appreciate your presence.
Yeah. Could use maybe some help
Yeah.
when the Piper comes calling.
Yes.
While Jesse's waiting for Tamaki,
Mhm.
he's gonna talk with Kajazat.
Okay.
He's gonna ask him. He's gonna ask him if first of all, like what kind of like magic he specializes in.
Arcane.
Yeah. Yeah. Kajazat says, I dabble in a number of things, but it is primarily arcane magic, wizardly in nature, with some spread into certain other areas.
Okay. We're gonna be making pretty soon a chain.
Yeah.
Tamaki's a werebear, and once a month he's gonna go insane. Have extreme bloodlust. Is there any type of magic? So we're making a chain from out of a treant heartwood, but are there any spells that can make like an unbreakable chain? Is that possible, or?
It may be. Perhaps not entirely unbreakable, but it would certainly, at the very least, be possible to brace them up.
And the second question, is it possible by magic means to make it so the chain can like grow and shrink in size however you want it to a certain extent of length?
That
Like
should-
have a maximum width?
It should be reasonable.
Daniel, if we do that, then you can have the chain as like a chain of, not a complete chain of returning, but kind of like a chain of returning.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That'd be sweet.
We'll use his own chains against him once a month.
Yeah. Okay. Would you be able to do stuff like that, or is there a place that'd be better to that type of enchantment?
That would likely be well within my means.
Okay. Nice.
So it'd be more like take the heartwood somewhere to get it worked, and then bring it back to get it enchanted.
Yeah. So first we do the hard one.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you're gonna spend so much on a chain, you might as well like
Reinforce it.
more.
Sure, I'm good with that. Yeah.
Not just reinforce, but like if you can make it so you can like have like a shorter chain, but like throw it like 20 feet and pull it back.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Of course, knowing my luck, it'd be like my last great axe, and the guy would catch it and just blow it up.
Right.
No! Kill you!
Don't do that.
Dang it, no.
This is if you're looking for a craftsman that could work in, you say, some kind of tree and heartwood.
Yeah.
It is possible that Tai Soto may be able to help you with that. He doesn't work cheap. He's one of the better craftsmen in the city as far as wood goes. He may be able to help you.
Okay. We'll check him out. Thank you.
Of course.
And then last thing I ask him is if he knows what type of like low level like charm person or like friends, if he knows any of those like lesser spells kind of thing. Yeah.
What now?
If he knows basically like charm person or like friends kind of with the devil.
Says I'm familiar with some enchantment spells of that sort.
Okay. Cool. Good to know. But basically I tell him like an idea for like a ring to like have like charm person or something that I could maybe enchant, but later on when all the craziness is over. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Got the info I need. I thank him.
All right.
I was going to ask Kadrazat a question too.
Okay.
So this is whenever I come back and I meet up with Yasu. I'm like, so Kadrazat, when we dropped off that bottle of Black Dram, you said it. I roughly remember you saying that it said that we could help you with an issue that you're having. What exactly did that mean? Or, I mean, you don't have to tell us now, but I'm just curious. I mean, it is middle of the day.
It's complicated.
Like I say, we can come back to it. That's fine. If you're not comfortable at the moment. I'm just curious.
It's
Well, I have a question.
it's okay.
It's a different subject though, so you can finish up your current.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, don't let me interrupt you. Continue on, then I have some.
But I have a question. Yeah.
Consider this holding my place in mind.
Yeah.
That's right. There's my quarter on the table. I'm next.
Yeah, he let's see. I'm trying to decide how much of this he'd really be willing to talk about.
Sure, yeah. And it's on the spot, and there's people running around, and I get that, so.
Let's see. He yeah, I don't think he'd be quite ready to open up to you guys about that yet. Like
That's
nobody's like you guys you're getting to know him, but no one's gotten that close to him yet. Like,
Cool. No, that's fine.
He's just kind of like it's a personal matter. Perhaps someday I might consider
Yeah, no
speaking of
worries.
it to you, but
To the nine hells.
Ah! No!
PPK.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. I was just, if it's something we can help with, we would love to help. But if you're not ready, that's it's your deal, so that's fine.
please don't consider it a slight against you. I believe that you
Oh,
are
no.
trustworthy, but this is a long-running and personal matter that I do not at this time feel comfortable speaking of.
No, that's fine. No, I take no offense at all. I mean, we all go through those issues, and when the time is right, we're here. So, you know, if the time's never right, then we're still here. So.
And
That's right.
let's see. He gives you kind of a long, considering look, and he says, "No, I believe you will be. And I hope that you will be. There are many people with whom I am friendly, and few with whom I am friends properly. It's perhaps to some degree a measure of protection, both for myself and for them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If there comes a time, it would be nice to have true companions, though."
Well, when that time comes, let us know. In the meantime, Jasu, let's go find this Tai Soto. Which direction would be the best way to go?
Yeah, he can give you guys directions.
Well,
Yes.
you take a left,
Then,
then you go back to the right.
So, the Tomate hasn't turned into a werebear yet, and I'm just trying to like look at worst case scenarios. And so, like, please keep this between us. So if he like went crazy and just destroyed half the town, he'd probably go to jail, right? So, like, if that happens, how would we get him out?
Are you asking Kajuzat this, or who are you? Who are you asking that? Who are you asking about this?
Like, because he's local, so he might know a little bit more about.
Yeah.
You're asking,
You know.
you're asking Kajuzat then?
Yeah,
I didn't quite
yeah.
catch that.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if he had any like ideas. Hypothetical.
How would you go
Out
out
of
get somebody out of jail?
Yeah, he's like he kind of thinks for a moment. He says, "Honestly, I would speak with Garen about it. Garen is a good man. He's very intelligent. He's a hard man to fool, though, so you may wish to be completely open with him if you were to approach him about this."
But what if we don't see eye to eye? Like, what if he just used Tomate as a monster? And we need to get him out? Like,
I just picture Rocket Raccoon at the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy. But I want it more, sir. You see?
No, but you don't understand. I want it more than he does.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
I'm just trying to figure out how he would answer this.
Probably about what you're doing. Just kind of like, I'm not sure how to answer that.
Well, your friend was speaking of magical chains. It may be better to an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure, they say. Says it may be better to find someone who might be able to cast remove curse on him in the day of the transformation and that sort of thing.
you're saying that it might be so hard to break him out that we should just leave town before it happens?
I'm not saying that, but it's.
Love this line of questioning.
Yeah, he just rolled a natural 20 on his insight check, so he's just like,
Oh,
I get the impression this may not be about your large Goliath friend.
Busted!
wow.
And listen, this is your business is your own. It is none of mine. But it may be worth speaking to the authorities before you do anything rash. Garen in particular is more understanding than many in his position might be. However, if you are going to do something foolish, it's like just try not to hurt anyone. But it seems like whatever you're considering would be perhaps unwise.
Okay, so here that's not you like you just say interchange. Okay, good.
I thought we walked away.
Now.
What? Yeah, whatever you say. What'd she say?
Do we know all what we want from the Heartwood?
Do we know all? Or are you
I
talking
don't think
about
we know.
trying to
I
identify
don't
it?
think we've really decided what we really
Yeah, you
talked about
you
it.
haven't really nailed down exactly how much you're getting out of it, or how much you don't know how much you could get out of it, but you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we know maybe 2 things of light armor, chain, bow staff.
Yeah, chain and bow staff are specifics that we want for sure.
Who all wanted armor?
We're thinking for Sameas.
Yeah.
Trying
That or the bullet. Do we know how if the bullet would be better? I don't know.
That's a good question.
We do have that bullet hide too. Yes.
Basically, he has 19 armor right now. If I could do like 19 the same or better, and have him light armor, so he's not always playing me loud.
Yeah.
Well, because he's mechanical. Is that going to go away based on his armor, or is that just inherent with his
It will
rate?
go down if we switch him out of plate,
Okay.
just because plate adds to your armor class, regardless
Right.
of what race you are. So.
Yeah, we're trying to think if
I
we can come
mean-
up with a lighter version of the plate mail
Gotcha.
or the plate armor.
And like I said, if the bullet hide could be like just as good, that would be fine. I just kind of like that.
Yeah.
Idea.
Yeah,
okay.
I know.
We got an idea.
Who else wanted armor though, besides for Sameas?
Who
To-
doesn't want armor?
I was gonna say most of us can't wear armor.
Because I mean, I might like a chest piece and some bracers at least out of it.
Oh yeah, that's right. I can't wear any armor. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm the same. We're far more powerful
So
than
it's me, Mouse, and Sameas basically that it comes down to if we're getting armor.
Well, like you know how in The Hobbit, how they wear they wear it like underneath their clothes.
Mm.
You know, that way they can be stylish and protected.
It's a Treant chainmail.
Yes.
That'd be cool.
A lot of whittling.
I need to.
We got an idea.
Is that even possible?
You're not sure without speaking to a craftsman.
Yeah, we go talk to Ty, so
Well, after we do that, what do we want to do?
I want to go kill something. I need a battle. I'm not satisfied with it.
More than
guy.
piercing out somebody's eye.
Yeah.
I mean, that was fun and all, but I talked myself out of it. I could have squished him like a bug.
We got the hobgoblin.
Yeah, we got the goblin infestation. I mean, the slums. It's not an
I
infestation.
think we should take care of Mouse's friend in jail.
Well, I mean, we should, but we also have to be super, 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 super careful of that because
Yeah, like jailbreak at this point, in the middle of like the FBI headquarters, basically, is not a great idea.
I didn't say jailbreak. I said take care of.
I say jailbreak.
Not exactly FBI headquarters, but more just like
The local police station.
The police station in New York City that is like where the chief of police for the city works, like, kind of thing.
I personally think we could like at least talk, because he was talking about like the Underdark and that guy slaving. I think we could like try and work out a deal, like.
Well, I was thinking what I could try doing is like
Going the Underdark.
You want to go the Underdark?
Like, I don't know. I just think like if I just went up to God and be like, "Hey, I really like this guy. He's my best friend. You think you could just like let him slide?" You know what I mean?
Well, that would be stupid.
But like I just think that would like fly because
Probably
more of a well, why? Just because like, but like I could write him a letter and try to like pay him and like, but use disguise self to like drop off.
You're gonna like bribe. You're gonna bribe him to let him go now.
Yeah, that's my idea now.
Well,
I
so
like
in
the
his
idea of
note,
like community service. That seems like a good idea to me.
yeah,
I think I know Garrett a little more than everybody. Bribery's not going to work with him.
yeah, doesn't seem like the
Maybe not
breathtaking
everybody.
type.
I do like where you're going. I mean, you could always go up to him and say, "Hey, I'm his friend. I heard he's in trouble. Let me talk to him. Let me see what's going on."
I don't want to like associate myself with it because
Sure.
if I do break them out, I don't want it to be.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, disguise self is cool, but I mean, just getting your foot in the door and getting more information from him versus trying to bribe him is a terrible idea.
That people like are able to see through disguise self. Is there like a
It's
spell
pretty hard.
for that? That's really available?
Isn't there like a wisdom?
Like, you might be able to discern it if you actually suspect someone is in disguise. Or, you know, like, Kadrazat could probably see through it, being that he's a devil and has true sight as a result, but...
What was the part about the note where he said it was like accidental or something? What was that about?
Oh, well, just like sometimes you get caught if you want to go to jail because there's something else inside of the jail. That happens to movies all the time, and so you know, just leaving that option out because wouldn't it be awful to be rescued when you don't want to be rescued?
I gotcha. So he's not there on purpose. Got it.
Good to know.
Yeah, like, to discern that you're disguised when you're using disguise self, a creature can use an action to inspect your appearance, and if they succeed on an investigation check against your spell save DC, then they would know, but they first have to actually suspect that you're not who you appear to be. So,
Gotcha.
like, if they have no reason to suspect you, then they don't have any reason to be like, but wait, are you really who you seem to be? Like, there's just...
To see into your soul.
I am suspicious of everybody.
It's getting this way.
7. Well,
So talking to him, I don't think would work. So bribe, probably you don't think would work.
Probably not.
I paid him like 1,000. I have 1,000 gold coins.
You're gonna be better off talking to him.
Okay, so back to breaking him out then.
we could think of trying to arrange like a plea bargain. We could do like a lot of like a good time.
It's true. There is always that option. I mean, like you're saying, if we go break out Coolest or return Coolest from the Underdark.
Write him a letter that says there's an anonymous group association with him, but from the perspective of old friends, and if there's service we could do in order to trade that would be of use to them.
Keep this guys up as disguise self as his lawyer. public.
I would get caught so bad.
Burt Reynolds.
Pretending to be a mother.
Burt Reynolds, attorney at law.
What? This doesn't exist in this world?
I knew there was something wrong about this world.
But what about that idea? What about just being an anonymous, writer that has interests that would be willing to do work in order to trade? That idea?
No idea. This is your boyfriend.
I don't know about that.
Friend.
It's just a friend. Good friend. Bestie friend.
Good friend. Yes. All of those things.
Is he though? Is he though?
I don't know. Mouse is really good for
Well, either way, I think the goblin slums could be a good thing to check out after we do the wood. And worst case scenario, if we get on Garen's good side, like that could help. So.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that. Like if we bring in Coolest, there's gonna be a lot more leeway. I mean, if you want to go in,
More
or if you
bargaining
can go,
chips.
yeah, exactly.
It's all up to you though. Like we're all like, oh, that sucks for Mouse.
Yeah, most of us
Anyway,
are far less
Monty and I
committed.
ride on, and we're gonna get murdered in 30 days, so we should prep. those are some.
Speaking of 30 days, that twin sun's coming up pretty quick. We should go get those chains. Twin suns, twin moon.
those chains and all of them.
Okay, perfect.
And then we'll just meet back here again or something.
Sure.
Mouse will multitask and hang out with you guys while she writes the letter.
Okay, cool. Mouse is going
Perfect.
to. Oh, hey, David. Did you ever get a price on how much it'd be to enchant the gun?
I have not figured that out yet. No, I need to, but
Okay. If it takes like 1 or 2 game days, can we just retro it if it's a good price?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Bookie,
That's
bookie.
You need something to do. To me, it's cool.
Yeah.
So,
But if I write a letter to him, how am I going to get a letter back?
just say, like, do a return to Katrazat's sanctuary. The sender will pick it up.
So,
Or just disguise yourself and talk. I don't know.
Just do a drop. Just have it somewhere in the middle of a Central Square Park and the bench on the third on the left.
Disguise yourself as a
like
mail
good
carrier
talker, but
and
I'm
go
not
in.
a good talker, so the combination.
But I mean, you can just like say, okay, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Tamati and Jesu, look at it.
So this, just so I'm clear, is this letter, like, who is this letter supposed to be going to that you're,
Garen?
Garen?
to Gavin? Oh,
Be very
Garen.
different.
Okay.
The one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just,
Gavin the governor or Garen the copper?
Garen.
You'll never catch me, Kappas.
the dragon or the bull?
Just say.
It's just like,
He has magic beans. They're looking better.
how would I get a letter back?
He can. I'm just not clear on the plan, I guess. Like, so I'm not.
If Mouse writes him a letter, how would she get a response without having her identity revealed?
Or you could just go to the job by the mother.
Just have him come talk to me. I'll talk to him.
You could just give him a location to have the letter be taken to, with the assurance that you'd find it there.
Dead drop.
But yeah, but
So even
they
if
would
it's
just watch it, the location, and be like, okay.
I'll disguise myself. I'll go over and pick it up. If they come after me, I'll fight them off.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. That's, if I'm gonna break him out.
Cool, Jesu and Tamati, whoever's following.
Whoever's following.
That's right, clank, 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 clank. Actually, yeah, Simis will come and we'll sell like an armored making person more. Like it's an Smith armor guy, see the bullet or the.
Okay.
And before he leaves, he asks for like one of the. Oh, never mind. Is mouse? Okay, cool. Never mind. Mouse. Cool. And we head off.
To Taiso! I'm going the opposite direction that we're supposed to. Oh! Sorry, turn around.
The Shire's this way.
The Shire's this way. Take it.
Come on,
Olympus
Sam.
would be
Let's
that
go
way.
back to the Shire.
Ooh.
The Shire's this way. Let's see.
Yeah, so we'll stop at Taiso. The Craftsman.
Hey, wasn't Ren?
For all my knowledge of movies, I feel like Lord of the Rings went over my head. I need to watch it again.
Hey, wasn't Ren gonna go talk to Garen about her uncle?
Did you ever finish the Star Wars movies?
I didn't know.
Star Wars.
There's
I
another
have
one
watched-
coming out in a couple days.
I half watched the
Yeah.
fourth episode 4 when you guys were there, and I
Excellent.
haven't gone back to the original trilogy since.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best one.
And I have Empire Strikes Back Revisited now, which I need to watch.
Yes! I need to watch that one too.
That's what you're responsible for watching.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, are we just like gonna check out the goblin slums after this, or?
Sure.
Meet back, or? Well, I'm not sure what Zafine is.
Yeah, so after we go see Gavin, well, Sabaeus is with us,
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
actually, because he went to see Gavin with us.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then
sorry.
You guys met up
Yeah,
after that. I don't know what you're.
Okay, yeah. Then some messages. So.
I mean, I guess we could have gone back to Kajazat's.
Yeah, I think so.
After we talked to Gavin, so then he could go with you.
Well, and if you guys are you guys just going shopping, crafting right now, or are you going to go to the goblins after that?
I mean, we.
The plan currently is to go crafting, then go to the goblins. But, I mean, whatever. We can change that up.
There's something big's gonna go down. We don't want to like. Oh yeah, they missed it. So that's why it's kind of like. To see if we can coordinate what's going on, or if like you guys are
Yeah.
together. Think about that.
Okay. Well, whenever you guys are done crafting, I'm all in for going to goblining.
Yep, same.
Okay, so let's go visit Taisoto, see about this tree heart, see if there's anything that we can do with it, if he's willing to do anything with it. Then we want to go see if an armorer, can play with the bullet armor, make something lighter for Sabaeus.
Do you want the bullet armor? Because I believe I have that. I don't think it's in the bag of... Did we put it in the bag of holding?
I don't know.
I just quite a lot. Well, isn't it a lot, or is it not a lot?
I feel
Yeah,
like we
quite a
got
bit.
quite a bit.
Yeah, I just figure everything we get that's not personal goes in the bag of holding.
Okay. Oh, this is the wrong binder. That would be my school binder. Ugh. Ugh. Okay.
Rin has copious amounts of homework.
All the time. All the time. I'll look at my inventory and see if I put it in with my stuff rather than...
Rin's trying to study this strange alien language from another plane called Spanish.
No!
Incomprehensible.
Okay, well, I dropped off Bronwyn's letter, so I no longer have that. No, I don't have the hide, actually, so it must be in the bag of holding. Oh, you know what I have, though? This is what I confused it with, is I have 3 vials of bullet acid with me.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
Yeah, I
Nice.
grabbed a couple of those too.
I was so sad about the loss of not killing it.
Sorry.
It's okay. Got the sweet claw from it.
And he doesn't need the whole thing. He just needs like, just a price estimate, like even just taking one. Something.
Yeah.
Is it in the bag of holding?
No, yes,
Cool.
it is in the bag of
We
holding.
Cool. We go.
Who's the keeper of the bag of holding in the moment?
Mouse.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Touch base.
One of these days we're gonna have an inventory party. This is like, okay, what do we have in this thing?
Probably sell for a couple thousand, but oh well. We go to the carpenter.
Sweet.
Okay. All right.
Just
You
imagine us
make
walking
your way-
around arguing back and forth. Who's got what? No, you guys don't. No, we got this over here.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Dungeons and inventory management.
Yay!
Everyone's favorite part of RPGs.
Ta-da!
Who's got what? Okay.
It's not like whenever we play Skyrim or whatever, we spend approximately 50 to 60% of our time just dumping stuff out of our backpack so we can hold more things.
Yep.
When did I pick up 100 wheels of cheese? Why do I have these?
Where did this come from?
In case you find a wine tasting party, you gotta have it.
Why did I think it was important to take the armor off of like 7 different bandits? And why?
Awesome. All right, Tutai Solo.
All right, you make your way to, following the directions that Kajazat gave you, you make your way into more of an industrial section of the city where things are a little, not necessarily dirtier because the city is kept fairly clean everywhere, but there's just more of the smell of like sawdust and like hot metal on the air, that sort of thing. There are a lot of craftsmen in different materials that work here, and as such it is filled with the sounds and smells of a more industrial part of the city. And you find
I like this
yourself
place.
at a very well-crafted building that, unlike most of the buildings around here, which are pretty functional, this one has all kinds of very complex and ornate parquetry in the wood, like all kinds of crazy inlays on the outside.
Where's Quake?
Yeah.
It's that terrifying moment of, oh no!
My laptop, my precious.
All of us instinctually reaching out. No!
Works best.
Like, which means that they can fix it.
She has already shuffled one laptop off this mortal coil. Doesn't need to do anymore.
She's just kicking them off all the time.
Yes, she has a grudge.
Stinking laptops.
All laptops must die. Yeah, you can hear the sound of something being sawed as you are approaching, and you enter the building and you see that there is a male half-orc, probably in his early 40s or so, if you had to guess. Big burly dude, very muscular, with, for a half-orc, pretty pale, like only a little bit of a tinge of green. He has more human coloration than a lot of half-orcs do. It kind of ranges, but he looks tanned, has sort of a like dusty brown hair, and he's wearing practical, rough clothing with like a tunic under some dark overalls, thick leather gloves. The whole shop is just kind of covered in sawdust, and it doesn't look like it's because he doesn't clean in here. It just looks like he does so much work that it just gets to this point after a day or two. And so
Awesome.
he, as you come in, is currently working on sawing a large block of wood by hand, and he stands up, leaving his saw in the wood as he sees you come in, dusts his hands off, and looks at you and says, "Hello there. What can I do for you?"
How's it going? Looks like you got lots on your hands. It's a beautiful shop.
Thank you.
Yeah, we just we needed some woodworking done on a very particular piece of wood, and we heard through the grapevine that you're probably one of the best woodworkers in town.
That might be a fair description.
I like it. So we came across this this beautiful piece of wood.
One of a kind.
One of a kind, yeah. And we're trying to figure out how much we can get out of it. We're looking at anyway. We should pull the treant heart out and show it to him and say, kind of what our plans are is we want a bunch of chains made out of it, as much the smaller pieces made into chains. We've talked about maybe possibly turning it into armor, as we've heard this is really strong. We definitely want a bow staff out of it somewhere, and just kind of a general idea of how much we can get out of this and that kind of stuff.
And I want bracers.
And then bracers. Little bird sitting on my shoulder here.
this raven sitting on my shoulder here.
Yeah.
Little ones. They're big.
Locusts just like all of them. But yeah, he seems like he's a fairly reserved kind of guy, and it's slightly unsettling that as long as you've been here, you haven't seen him blink. He just doesn't. he just doesn't seem to ever blink. He just kind of he seems kind of intense. But he, in spite of
Too much sauce.
yeah, in spite
I'm trying.
yeah, in spite of how reserved he seems, he does kind of look excited upon seeing what you've brought out, and he comes forward and looks at it, and he reaches out and says, "May I?"
Yeah, absolutely, sure.
And, just kind of runs his fingers over the grain of the wood where there are these glowing red lines in the grain against the black wood. He kind of knocks on it gently and listens to how it resonates, and he says, "This is incredible. Where did you get this?"
Undead treant.
Huh.
Oh.
Well, that would explain.
It's horrifying.
Yeah, that would
Little
explain why. That would explain why I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
And he takes out a small tool from his belt and just kind of tries to scratch it to measure the hardness of it, and it just doesn't leave a mark at all. His eyebrows raise, and he says, "This is unbelievably strong. This would be very difficult to cut, time-consuming, possible, expensive."
Sure.
You have around 6 cubic feet or so of this, if I had to guess. I could get quite a few things out of this if I worked it properly.
Cool. Yeah, like you said, we're looking at a set of chains. We have specific dimensions, kind of how much length of chain we kind of wanted to get out of it. Because we were told that it was pretty intense, and so they're it's stronger than steel is what we've been told, And so, yeah. So we're like, we want chains out of it. Kind of looking at a bow staff, just because it's a simple weapon. Should be fairly easy. Well, relatively easy. Whatever kind of
have to
armor we can get.
I may have to commission some specialty tools to work with this. This is very, very hard. I will likely need enchanted steel, and even then I may wear through some tools in order to get through this. One way that I may be able to save some material. You said you wanted chains.
Yeah, if possible.
He says if I use a specialized auger, I may be able to hollow out part of it and then use a larger auger of the same type to hollow out essentially a long straw.
Oh, okay.
And then cut that straw into links, and I have a wizard friend who may be able to help me to then assemble them without breaking the links.
Cool.
Save some material that way.
Yeah, heck yeah. Be awesome.
Material of this quality, as little waste as possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Working with the grain, likely want to take the staff and the links out of the center. That's, I suspect, would be the best way.
Yeah.
So, I may be able to craft some armor pieces that'll be a bit more lossy. I use more material that way, but
yeah.
perhaps I could carve out more of it in such a way that it would be reasonable. What sorts of things? He says, you could do a kind of wooden plate out of this. It would be very difficult, but I may be able to make a sort of mail with it if I use a technique that I'd been considering. I'd had some ideas about wooden armor, but I hadn't had any material that was really worth trying it in until.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, you know more about what's possible on this than we do. I mean, I don't make stuff out of wood very much. I live in the woods, but that's about it, you know. You could build a house out of wood. Other than that, yeah. That's the extent of my imagination.
Yeah. He sort of half grins. You haven't really seen him full on smile, although he came pretty close when you actually took out the piece of wood to begin with. But he sort of half grins. I suspect I could get quite a bit out of this if you have money, some time to wait, because it's going to be very difficult to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, time we're not too worried about. I mean, chains would be the thing we're most concerned about as far as time-wise. But other than that,
give me a week to get specialty tools, and after that, the chains and the staff at the very least, maybe the bracers as well. I could craft in another week, 2 weeks from now.
Perfect.
Those would be the simplest. I suspect with the cost of enchantment for the tools, that the least I could ask for that sort of work is 1,500 gold. Just for those. Further work we would have to speak of down the road.
Okay.
If we have any leftover short sword, it could be fun. Or a dagger or something.
Yeah.
But for now.
I suspect we could get quite a bit out of a piece of wood this size as long as we're careful.
Awesome. Yeah, maybe we'll do that then. Say about a week, come back and...
A week I'll need a week to commission the tools I'll need, and then another week
Yeah.
after that to
Yeah.
actually.
Create the objects.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we can do that.
That'll give us time to. They'll give us time to figure out the armor situation.
Yeah, what all we need as far as that goes.
Yeah, like and any other weapons and whatnot.
This almost seems to be infused with an essence of fire in a way that I've never seen. It is possible that even without additional enchantments, items crafted from this material may have some magical quality to them.
Awesome.
And tell you what, I will save the sawdust. Any sawdust that is produced by this, I will try to sweep up and keep in a bag. It seems that might actually have some value or use.
Cool.
See what we come up with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and if there's, Mouse mentioned a hand crossbow.
I could,
Or bolts
Or
or-
short sword.
says I could likely craft some of the materials for such a thing. You need specialized springs. You would have to speak to metal workers and weapons crafters. Not exactly my area of expertise for the springs and other such, but I'd likely be able to get enough material out of this for something like that.
And Sameas chimes in. I'll just say this. He basically asks, like, since he works with wood armor too, like if he knows like an estimate of like the toughness of it, like what the armor class could possibly be, like as a if he would know.
Armor crafted from this would be very, very hard indeed, and whether it was solid plate, if you will, or if it was the mail technique that I think I may be able to manage, it would likely be very, very strong. I'm not sure I could estimate exactly how strong until I've worked with it more.
Cool.
Lighter weight, certainly, than anything crafted in metal.
Cling, cling, cling.
He says, you could either leave the piece with me so that I can begin doing measurements while I'm waiting for the tools, or you can take it with you and bring it back once I have the tools. I'd likely be able to get your work finished a little faster if you're willing to leave it here, though.
I think that should be fine. Yeah, I have no problems with that. Anybody else have any problems with that? I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody, but
No, that's fair. That way it just helps speed up the process, and yeah.
yeah, exactly. You speed up the process, and if there's any exciting things that you discover as we go, then that's always a benefit too. So.
And he kind of gets that half grin again and just says, "Don't worry, people aren't stupid enough to try to steal materials from my shop."
Good. You have that commanding presence, so. Cool. Okay.
Oh, we were sent by Kadrazat. He highly recommended you.
Kadrazat sends a good number of my clients. I will have to find some way to thank him.
Yeah. Good man. Demon. Whatever.
Yeah.
How are Tathael and Kadrazat getting along?
They haven't really spoken up to this point. Like, they just haven't really interacted. I think that Kadrazat so far has kind of been steering clear of her a little bit, and that Tathael seems a little uncomfortable around him just because she, has a certain level of prejudice about devils, which in her defense, is like a pretty safe prejudice to have.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we're just staying at Kajuzat's Inn, so whenever the tools and the chains and the core stuff and bracelets are done, we'll have a list of the rest of the armor and weapons all over. We'll get an estimate to see if all those are possible.
Excellent. And so far as you can tell, like he still hasn't blinked. Like unless he did it when he was facing
Just
away
stop
from
that!
What race is he?
Half orc.
Okay, half. Cool. Well, thank you very much for your time. We're excited to see the work.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to do the work. This should be very interesting.
Yeah, excellent. Cool. Okay.
As we're leaving, I said, Tomato, you know how Bear and Soren mentioned they don't like using silver because they're afraid of it? So if that has fire essence.
I thought about that.
Just
We'll see how it
Here's a
goes.
thought.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
we just do we just want to go? So we just can go and get everyone and go to the goblin slums, or did we want to stop at like a shop first?
We talked about doing the bullet armor as well, to see if there's any merit in that.
Well,
But we can do that another time.
we can do it another time since. We can just stop there really quick and just before Lisa Mess asked if he knows any good like armor. Just get an estimate of like how armor would be.
Cool. Okay.
Pardon me. Yeah, he'd probably at least be familiar enough with a couple of craftsmen to give you some suggestions.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't have any of that prepared at the moment.
That's fine. Yeah, totally fine. We'll do that another time.
Let's just see how much is left first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come.
Look at you, Sue, and just cast quiet on him. Anyway, okay. So we're meeting up with everybody and then heading off to the goblin slums.
Or do we want to ask Garen about it and then go? That's the question.
That's a good question.
And then we could like see if we could, I don't know, I'll scope out the place a little bit.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
And if it needs to talk to talk about her uncle, but you and I would not want to go inside
True.
with them. But
We could always.
I mean, we
leave.
can
Yeah.
we can wait. We can wait outside.
Yeah,
I'm just
absolutely.
saying.
Yeah.
I wrote a potential note.
Yeah, I like it. It's good.
Yeah,
that's-
awesome.
Just so it's not like we're at Goblin Slums, but we can get an idea of like here's what's going on and this,
I mean, I could always hand him the note if that's what you want to do, and say, "Here, I was given this note on the way in. I don't know anything about it. Just that I was supposed to hand it to you, and then go from there, type of thing."
Lying.
Because I mean, it's anonymous. Even if you're with us, he doesn't know it came from you. So,
Or I'm asking him in
Is that
faces.
suspicious?
I'm asking.
huh? No, I wouldn't. Well, I'd be like, I don't. Somebody told me to give this to you. I haven't read
Or
it.
you
or
could just
anything.
send Nip to drop it off. It's just this
Oh, yeah,
random
that's true.
mouse dropping off this letter to him.
That's true. Well, so then how are we gonna? So we just wait around till we right back.
No.
We could. I mean, we're going
Or
there.
just-
It's one of those where we go there for information about the goblin slums and what's going on, and if we can help, and then say, "Oh yeah, by the way, somebody gave me this note on the way in." And I don't know. It's up to you. However you want to play this.
Well, okay, so anybody have ideas of how we get response back.
Did you want me to respond back immediately?
No, because
Okay.
I wasn't sure.
That's your answer.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could put in there.
Leave a note for friend of Frederick at
Or yeah.
Jinso's loft or something. And we can go by and pick it up.
Yeah.
Like tie it to a tree and then have your bird pick it up.
Yeah, we could do that.
Sure.
Totally.
Or if you want to put in there,
Leave on the windowsill and Loki will pick it up.
yeah.
Okay.
Or write a
Put that
reply,
in.
give it to the Goliath. He's kind of hard to miss.
Oh.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, just
any number of ways to do it.
leave on the windowsill and the bird.
So P.S. Leave on windowsill. Leave response in windowsill.
Okay.
Windowsill where? Of the...
Outside his office.
Okay, gotcha.
You should, you can give it to me in office. Hey, Chief, this is what's outside for you.
Or yeah, we could. I mean, like I say, we can give it to him and just have it write Garen on the outside of it and say somebody gave me this to you to give, or found this on the
We got it.
street. Okay,
We got an idea.
cool.
So we go back, we meet up with Ren and Zafine, and we head over to the top place to talk to Gary and see what's going
So
on.
yeah, he's not there.
Garen's
Garen?
not there.
No, he's been, well, is it evening? He said he might be back in the evening.
It's early afternoon at the moment.
He could be back, but he was out training, I think.
Hmm.
So we can go see still, but
Sure. Yeah.
Going forever. Just want to fight something.
just heads up.
Yeah.
Ready to beat the crap out of him.
I can't punch Tamati because he'll rip me in half as a bear.
Right.
I was gonna
It's
say
like
I
what
can't do that today, but I can.
There's like literally a 50% chance of that.
I know, right? It's kind of a scary thought. That's okay. I have spread the dying. I can keep you from dying.
I need
Dead.
to like
You.
kill you again.
Dead. You. Dead. You.
I'm bringing you back.
Not done with you yet.
Oh man.
Awesome. Okay.
In worst case scenario, we can drop off Garen's letter.
Sure. Yep. To the police station.
Woohoo!
Yay.
All right. Let's see.
So is everybody going on this one? Everybody except for Mouse, or Mouse? Are you staying where you?
Well, Green, I'll just go, and most of us just wait outside.
Could I have like Miss Mouse like float on your shoulder? So I can
You just ride on my shoulder? Yeah.
Nip.
Oh,
Nip.
nip. Yeah, sure. That's fine.
That way Mouse can kind of stay out of sight, out of mind. Just in case.
While that's happening, she's blind, right? Very much.
Yeah. While you're looking through Nip's eyes, you can't see what you're.
So, Monty, you don't want to go in with her either because if they scare you, it's like, hey, my uncle is this guy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if we're getting information about the goblin slums.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, as soon as we leave, Nip can jump onto Rin's shoulder or whatever, and then we can just walk out the door and back
Okay, cool.
back to Mouse and make sure she's protected.
Well, I'll say that with Mouse most of the time.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
let's see, I'm trying to. Just, so is everybody coming here then?
Yeah, it sounds like Jisu and Mouse are gonna stay outside while Nip is on my shoulder.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just say that with her because she's blind. Wow.
Sure. Or I could leave some ace out there if you wanted to come in. Or I could stay out there because I'm doing a lot of talking tonight.
Yeah. I'll just wait outside.
Alright. So everybody but Jisu and Mouse.
Okay.
As we go inside, I go, I knew about those two. I just had a feeling.
Yeah, it's
Not
been a lot.
realizing that
No.
not realizing that Nip can hear and see everything that I do, you know.
And I totally like forgot that or didn't realize that Nip was on Tamati's shoulder. So I'm like, no way. You think?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, I ship it.
The Thief and the Shadow Monk. Be like a romance novel.
So, this is, since you guys probably are really only coming in here to talk, the fact that there is a map is more just for verisimilitude, but I have
Ooh.
a map.
There's a map.
I love a map.
Map.
Mappy. Oh, wrong direction.
There's
Zoom
a
up.
map. There's a map. There's a map. Hold on. Hold on. I have to...
Holy crap, it's huge.
Since Nip did that, Mouse knows where his cell is, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
So he knows all the info.
Ooh, pardon me.
Stop it.
Yeah, so you guys can come through the front door here.
Oh yeah.
And this opens up into reception. This is just like the front desk area, that kind of thing. There's a young half-elf woman behind the counter that is in the same green uniform that most of the watch officers you've seen have been in.
Yeah, is there a thing for Nip?
Not at the moment.
We'll just have Jess be Nip, just so we can see what's going on too.
Sure. Yeah. But, as you come into the office, you see the woman behind the desk look up, and she says, "Hello, what can I do for you?"
Yes, we heard that there was some trouble with goblins about, and we were wondering if we could lend our assistance with the issues.
That may be possible. You'd want to speak to the commander about that. You're in luck. Garen has actually just gotten back in. I think he wasn't planning on being in for very long. I think he was planning on leaving fairly quickly, but if you would like, then you can go upstairs and speak to the commander there.
That would be phenomenal.
Yeah, because we wanted to talk to him about your uncle too, but yeah. Tamati might
Later.
want to stay out the door or something.
Later.
You have an uncle?
Later.
But yeah, she says, if you just go up the stairs, go through the first large door, the double doors to the left, then the commander's office will be on the left after that.
Thank you.
I'll let you through. And she comes over and unlocks this door to the staircase up here.
Over here.
Oh, over here?
Up top, yeah.
Ooh.
Up at the stairs.
Hold on.
Which
Hold on.
I don't actually have a teleport this time, so
Okay.
manually. Because last time the teleport just like broke. So.
Died.
Yeah, it did. It was super funny. We're stuck now.
So let's see. I will move you guys over to the upper floor.
Woohoo!
Nice.
And his room is to the left. Oh, wait.
It's dark.
It shouldn't be dark. Everything
Yep.
there should be.
I just had to find where this.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I disappeared.
it being daytime in a police office, I just have global illumination on in here, so you should be able to see no matter where you are.
Nice.
Excellent.
So double doors on the left, right?
Yes.
Sweet.
Are those doors locked too?
Whoa! He opened.
And
Ah!
yeah, the first door on the left after that is the one that is Garen's office. It's like labeled with Commander like Garen Shieldright on the door, and it looks like it was pretty recently changed. Like they still haven't totally like they painted over the previous name very recently. So
So fresh. Tacky. Still wet.
So do you just knock on the door? Is that what you were?
Yeah.
And
Hey, quick order.
So we just realized just soon as that with that, so Nip still has the
Yeah.
so Nip's just gonna like
Sneak it. Yeah.
What's
Oh,
that?
so you jumped off my shoulder?
I'm still on your shoulder. I'm just gonna like. Nip has the note.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. But yeah, you knock on the door and you hear Gillen's voice from inside just saying, "Come in." There's it's a pretty nice office. It looks like everything in here is.
Wait, where did
How did
where
one
did
of you end
Samantha
up?
go?
How did one of you end up outside?
It looks like Jasu and Smaeus tokens are connected somehow. So every time Jasu moves, Smaeus' token comes flying around.
That's so weird. It's like, how did you end up floating in the air outside his office?
I'm a big heavy metal ghost.
Hello,
Yeah.
Garrett. How are you?
He looks up and sees all of you and smiles and he says, "Hello, you called yourselves the Emerald Wing, was it?"
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
And, the office looks like most of the furnishings in it are pretty new. Like he had to bring in some stuff that suited his size a little more than what was previously in here. And but he was going through some kind of ledger or something, and he closes the book as you come in. So, what brings you here today?
We actually came to see if you needed assistance with the goblin situation.
We could use a few extra hands. Not sure to what extent we'd be able to pay you. Our budgetary concerns we've been overworked during the elections.
Sure.
Might be able to offer some degree of reward. If you're able to
That's
help us
not
out.
something that needs to be established now, if at all. So,
Well, it would certainly be welcomed. How much did I tell you about that before?
Kind of like it was in question if it was the goblins. That's what I remember.
Yeah, the goblinoid population in Gate isn't very large, and for as free-thinking as Gate tends to be, people still generally don't trust goblins. Even those that do reasonably well for themselves financially are mostly relegated to the slums. They're, in my experience at least, most of the goblins that live in the city are fairly decent folk. They choose to live in this kind of suspicion. They don't have to be. But around one of the slums, there's been a slew of attacks, some kind of almost looked like large animal attacks of some kind. People have been pretty much torn apart, really.
ooh.
And of course, because it is within the range of the goblin slums, people are immediately beginning to blame the goblins. I have my suspicions that it is something else, that it's not related to them, or that if it is, it's not what people want it to be, but
Sure.
in any case, some people have died around the area. I think there was another one earlier today, very early this morning, before the sun came up. And there was one more. That will be the fourth death. all within about half mile to a mile at most outside of the slums.
Wow.
Interesting.
It certainly has something to do with the slums. It's too close to them to not have something to do with it. But
I was gonna say, yeah, it sounds too close for comfort on that.
he says, actually, if you wouldn't mind, perhaps it would be best for you to accompany Vindra. Vindra runs our magical crimes laboratory. She's just across the way. And he thinks for a moment about standing up, like he sort of half stands up and then sits down, kind of like, Vindra! Get in here!
Think better of it. I got his collar.
Hey, David, quick question. When Seki was talking with Chesu, did he mention Garen? Or no? Can't remember.
I don't
Mentioned
remember.
Gavin.
Gavin, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Governor.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Just so you know.
But from across the way, like just across the hallway, you hear a door open, and you see a very striking young woman, probably like late 20s, if you had to guess, as she comes into the room. Dark-skinned. She has hair that seems to glow a little bit. It is the color of fire. She has these glowing, fiery patterns across her skin. And I would say Zafine probably at least recognizes that she is Fire Genasi.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you can tell from her her pointed ears that she's probably actually half-elf as well. So.
Whoa.
And she comes in and she turns and nods at Garrett and says, "Yes, sir, what did you need?" He says, "Vindra, this is the Emerald Wing. They're going to help us look into this matter with the killings around the Goblin slums. And I wanted to send you with them. I figure that it would be more likely that if there's anything magical going on, that you'd have a better chance of helping them find it." And she smiles and kind of like looks around at all of you. She's like, "Of course," and reaches out a hand to Tamati since he's closest
Right
there. Yeah, she,
Tamati and the ladies, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, she's much shorter than you. She's probably like 5'6", 5'7".
Oh, so she's about the same height as me.
She's like reaching up to shake your hand, basically, and says, "Vindra Luziriad." Like, I'm a magical specialist here on the force.
You certainly look magical. Shake her hand.
You certainly
Just
look
say that
magical.
That's why I'm not married yet.
Oh, man.
Man, that could be a pickup line and a half right there. I'm telling you.
Look magical. That's the title for the evening.
Okay, Garen says, "Vindra is one of the best forensic wizards I have ever met. I haven't met a great number of them, to be honest and fair, but she's among the..."
Sorry, go ahead.
What?
I popped my thumb. That hurt.
Ouch.
Trying to figure out, like, looking through chat going, what did I miss?
What did I... 'Cause, 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 'cause
I'll do that.
Okay. But yeah, he says she'll be able to help you pinpoint if there's anything strange going on. And this is Gates. There's usually something strange going on.
Nice.
Says, I'd been planning on sending Vindra. Vindra can take care of herself, but I had been planning on sending some officers with her, but you look like you have a fair amount of muscle between the lot of you. Should be able to help keep her safer than she would be. And she just kind of smiles sweetly and is just like, "Oh, sir, anyone who tried to get in my way out there, even if I was on my own, they would have to sweep him up."
Yeah.
Burn!
And Garen's just
Good
like,
to know.
"I know, it's not your protection." It's like,
Gotta keep a barrier.
Hey now.
it's like, I'm not worried about you. I just don't want to have to do any more paperwork. You end up melting or burning someone to ashes.
Hear that, Tamati? We're going for maybe less than lethal. Maybe.
What's less than lethal?
Like, if things
Quote me
get
from the other
dangerous
game.
out
No,
there,
no,
then
no.
of course you are more than free to defend yourselves. I suspect that whatever it is, this could get ugly. But just try not to hurt any innocent civilians.
Absolutely.
Of course.
That's always the aim. Cool. Excellent.
Actually, real quick. Yeah, and Garen looks over all of you and he says, if you have no further questions, then I'm sure Vindra will be able to help you find your way. So I'm afraid I have a lot of work to do. I've got to get back out on the street. So if you could excuse me, except for the Goliath. I need to speak to the Goliath for just a moment.
Oh. Okay.
I swear I didn't do anything.
I was going to
did
try
have
and
something I
talk to
wanted
Gavin.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did have something I wanted to discuss with you, but perhaps we'll do it after, and I step out into the hall.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. If you come back after this, when you come back,
This is the end.
it's
Bum,
like
bum, bum.
it's like when you return, hopefully I'll have a little less on my plate.
Hopefully we relieve some of that. So. Cool.
Are Sameas and Sue gonna step out also?
Well, just use that with Mouse because she's blind and
that's
deaf.
right.
Speaking of which, are there any like? Are we just kind of like waiting like on a corner by ourselves?
Yeah,
Or,
I'm
like,
just out in the hall.
Well, I mean, like just you and Mouse, or like are like people kind of like?
Yeah, I figured you guys were just right outside.
Well, like are there like pickpocketers like kind of like eyeing because it's like this like blind deaf person, or is it just kind of like everyone doing nothing?
There
I
are
don't
no
know.
pickpockets within like 2,000 feet of this
Okay.
building. This is the police station. Pickpockets don't really generally like to hang out outside police stations.
That's true.
Just pickpocket the cops.
Not a lot of
there.
competition.
Okay,
It's like there are way too many people in and out of here, like way too many cops in and out of here for
Yeah.
pickpockets to be comfortable hanging out there.
maybe not pickpockets, but just like cops, like kind of like weird, like why is
Looking
this
at you
random
suspiciously.
blind deaf person?
Well, I don't think Mouse is like flailing around.
Well, I don't know.
Flirt and you'll look totally natural.
Yeah, they like as long as you're not doing anything like weird or suspicious, they're not gonna mind if you're standing around. Like it's just
Take the ski mask off before you stand around.
Right.
Oh, you did.
But yeah, it's it like most of the police that are coming and going are on their way somewhere or on their way back from somewhere. And Gate being as diverse as it is, nobody's really even batting an eye at, like...
If that's the case, just silently because he knows his mouse isn't like hearing or seeing. Jesse gives her a big kiss.
Oh! I knew it!
I submit.
Like punching blindly and somehow.
Make an attack roll with disadvantage because you can't see.
Watch her still get it somehow.
Double natural 20!
Party drama, yay!
That one's gonna notch. But
I got 16 and an 8.
Let's see. What's your attack bonus?
You didn't unarm to be your strength.
oh, her strength
Yeah.
-1.
Plus your
Plus your
proficiency
proficiency.
bonus.
Check.
Because you're...
Plus 2, 3.
10.
10.
Nice.
All right, yeah, that's a miss. You, like, kind of swing wide.
You're lucky.
Like, you can still talk to him. Like, you can answer, like, and say stuff, but you just can't
I don't
see
think
her.
you're safe. You just like punch him and laugh.
Yeah.
Or you wouldn't be like
Very
a serious.
cheeky, very cheeky.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't cheek, it was lit. No.
Woo!
After all of you but Tamati clear out of Garen's office, says, so your name was Tamati, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, I have some reports that you got into a little scuffle with a couple of lowlifes somewhere downtown.
Oh, that got back to him.
Sounds like things went poorly for them. And he kind of grins.
It was not intentional. I threw skewers. I mean, you don't think skewers would do any damage, but apparently I got one of them in the eye and I tried to talk him down as much as I could, because, you know, in the middle of the street and not...
Oh, believe me, they're not the ones who came to us.
That's good to know.
Like, I don't think they're out to press charges or anything.
That's good.
But it was right in the middle of the street. There were witnesses. It got reported. It made its way back here. Sounded like you. There were other Goliaths around, but not many of them bearded. Not many of them with the headdress.
Really identifying.
Yeah, I kind of stand out in the crowd.
It's like it's a bit hard to miss you.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, you're not in any trouble.
That's good. But, yeah.
I suspect they're likely with the clock, if you know anything about the clock.
They were telling me a little bit about it. It's the local overnight, basically.
Local chapter of very major thieves guild.
Yeah.
It's been spreading.
Nip is gonna bite his ear just to like remind him, you know. It's like a little...
Okay. Yes, the clock is. They've been. I believe they started in Kaidan.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure how long ago, but they've been spreading throughout Soretta. If you happen to have any further business with them, we could use some insights.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And if you pick fights, Try not to put out any more eyes.
I will try not to throw any more skiers. I promise that. Yeah, it was. It's one of those spur of the moment things where you really don't think it's gonna go that way, and it's just. Yeah, but no, message received loud and clear. I will do my best to contain myself. So. It was a rough day.
You were attacked in broad daylight. You had every right to protect yourself.
Yeah, even still, yeah. But yeah, okay, yeah. No, they said they're kind of lower on the food chain down there, but they said if I ever needed anything from them to drop their names, and they would do what they could for me. So, kind of have my foot in the door that way. So if it ever comes up, like you're saying.
At least it's an in, if nothing else.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything you learn, we'd appreciate hearing.
Sure. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, also, I got this letter on my way in. Just was addressed to you. So I hand him the letter from Mouse. The anonymous letter.
Okay.
I don't know anything about it. They handed it to me and said we give it to you. I mean, figured it wasn't mine to open.
Roll a deception check for me.
Yeah.
You busted.
I'll say with advantage because he doesn't really have any reason to suspect you're lying to him, but he's also very good at discerning lies. So.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see if I can roll one higher than what I just did. Nope. Okay. 19 plus deception. Oh crap! I've never used deception. No, that's all right. I have to. Just not very much. So a total of 20. I rolled a 19 with my new dice. Yeah, I like that one.
That's just a failure. His insight was one higher.
You still busted.
Yeah, he rolled a
Double check my
16 and he has a +5 to insight. So
Curse me for being so good.
21.
Yep, just +1.
So-
Never again. Alive.
I was being fully truthful. I was being awesome.
Except for the
Except for that I don't know who. I do know who. Shh.
Yeah, he kind of, as he takes it from you, he kind of gives you an odd look, just like, something's off about this. Like,
I just pointed at the mouse.
Like, he doesn't say anything about it. He just kind of gives you a look, like, like he kind of caught that something was odd there. And
This mouse like hanging off my ear like an earring. It's like,
How foul-mouthed mouse is.
Hey, there's a door open over here. Or this door that's open.
yeah,
I
it's,
think
it's Vindra's office.
yeah, that's the Magical Crimes Laboratory.
Cool.
And there's
Like,
just standing there, you can kind of see that there's a bunch of strange lab equipment and all kinds of odd things. That it's like tables that are kind of just cluttered with vials and
Cool.
what you assume to be various pieces of evidence that she's probably been performing some kind of tests on.
Yeah, I don't touch anything.
Yeah.
Yes, not the room to loot.
Yeah, I guess, especially since Vindra would be standing out here, she would be like,
Your lab
Hey,
is really cool.
My stuff.
yeah, thank you. But, yeah, Garen reads over the note and just kind of has this... It's very hard to read what he's thinking, but...
inside check.
Yeah. I mean, you can try to...
Alright, why not? It's just to see what I roll, Oh, no, I don't care.
I didn't want to know anyway.
I figure whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen in the next 30 seconds, so He believes me or he doesn't.
Right? So.
Yeah, but
That's just
he reads over the note and says,
It's a grand total of 5, just so y'all know.
You really don't care.
I really don't care.
Yeah, he reads over the note and with sort of an unreadable expression on his face, he just says, you and your friends do seem to have quite a variety of skills. And just kind of
Yeah.
Says, I don't know which one of you has interest in Frederick Gaultier, but
Who?
he is... It's just like, he believes you don't know. Like, he doesn't think you wrote this letter. It's like,
It's probably a good thing.
He can read it. I mean,
I can write, sort of. Mostly. Calling Goliath, but
it's a complicated matter, this matter with Gaultier. He has barely spoken a word since we got him in here. We've been taking every opportunity to question him. We've observed him. We've been watching him. Somebody send in some kind of note at some point. That, he marked something down, sent it back. We couldn't get a good look at it. Our officers couldn't follow. It was in and out pretty quickly. I believe it was carried in by a mouse.
now sneaks behind my back.
It's like, it's just like we've been keeping a close eye on him, and haven't been able to get much out of him. We've been looking into it on our own, trying to track down exactly what was going on there.
Gotcha.
And we've made a very small amount of headway. We believe that he was paid for this work.
Okay.
And can I trust you with... if I tell you a little secret about this case, will you be able to do a better job lying to other people than you did to me?
I can certainly try.
I'll give you
Like
this.
crawls back up and starts nodding furiously.
It's like, I'll give you this. A number of my men likely you would have sold that. You would have gotten it by them.
Sure.
But I'm not in this position because I am bad at my job. You understand?
I'm not in this position because I have a pretty face, you see.
Yeah, it's just like. Like, you know what? Sure, we'll say it's just.
awesome.
He's like, I know that I look like my modeling career should have taken off by now, but I'm and like he kind of jokingly brushes the broken bridge of his nose, where his nose is kind of set crooked, and as he says that, and it's just like, but I'm not here for my looks, you know. So.
I don't think anybody in this position that deserves to be here ever is. But I will do my best to keep any secret.
Good. We have reason to suspect that his employers were in fact members of the peculiar party themselves.
Ooh.
Whoa!
We are not sure who exactly. We're not sure why. It's the bigger question. What's the motive here? And Frederick Gaultier was more or less the blade at the end of the hand here, at the end of the arm. He was, for whatever reason, it was Avenda's own people, we think, that wanted him dead.
Interesting.
But we, unfortunately, we just can't release Frederick Gaultier. We know that he tried to do this. There's no doubt in our mind. And we need to at least get answers out of him. If we can't get them out of him here, then he may be transferred to another facility for that purpose. At least to be held until answers can be had. And he was paid to do this, but this isn't the sort of thing you do if you object to the work. You know, he clearly was.
Fair enough, yeah.
He was willing.
Yeah.
And although the attempt failed, we know at least that he was involved. But, you know, it's hard to fault the boy, in a way. I can't say I like Avenda much either. I think he's bad news. And, look, the main reason we might be willing to look the other way on this, if we can at least get answers out of the boy,
Gotcha.
is that I'm fairly certain that Avenda is involved in something that there have been suspicions on and off for several years now.
Sure, yeah.
Avenda has his hands in something shady. We haven't been able to get to the bottom of it, though. He's hidden well.
Fair enough.
And to hide that well, you either have to be very good at concealing your tracks, or you have to be rich enough to pay people who are better at it than you. And Avenda certainly has the money.
Yeah. Interesting.
Tell you what, if you... Whichever one of you wants to speak to the boy, it's against my better judgment, but I'd allow you an audience with him. If you can get some answers out of him, we might consider letting him go free. Maybe.
Okay. I'll go find this anonymous friend and
You're just watching me. I was like,
let him know.
Or if whoever's, like, whichever one of you speaks for the mouse.
I speak for the mouse.
I have a number of friends.
You don't have to give yourselves away. If they want, they can just send you in with the mouse on your shoulder. Like you came in here. Although it sounds like whoever wrote this note has a relationship with the boy, may be more willing to speak to them directly.
Yeah.
But if you can get us concrete answers, and if we can get a promise that... I mean, we're not going to get a promise out of the boy that he's not going to do anything else shady, and we'd be stupid to try for that. But we can at least, if we can at least get an assurance that he will not go after Avenda again at this time, we may be able to trade information for his release in that circumstance.
Okay. Yeah, I'll talk to him about it and see what they've got. I mean, see how they feel about it. Let them know everything. I mean, you know. And we'll get back to you on that. I know you said you're busy. Don't want to take up too much more of your time, but yeah.
One more thing, Tamati.
Yep.
Don't lie to me again. That was your one.
For real, man.
It's just trying to protect a friend. I'm sorry.
I understand. This is- your motives are completely understandable. Don't do it again.
You got it.
I'll let it slide this time. But coppers don't like being lied to.
Understood. Okay.
I may be in an administration position, but I'm still a copper. I'm still a watchman. And I
And I
came
can
from those
still
streets.
kick your butt.
It's like I came from those streets out there, and I still think like the rest of my men do. I don't want to be deceived, not by someone who I believe I could have a good working relationship with.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I say,
I
if
have to. It's like if
Yeah.
we're going to work with one another, if the Emerald Wing is going to be an asset to the Gate City Watch, then I need to know that I can trust all of you
absolutely.
to one degree or another, at least.
I'm usually the most trustworthy one of the group too. Dang it! You have my word.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Let's go take care of some goblins.
So, well, while we've been in the hall, I think that I would have been with Rin like, Gavin's here. We have to tell him about
Garen.
your uncle. Yeah, about your uncle missing. While we're here, we just got to make sure he knows that, but we can't do
Yeah,
that while
I
planning
was-
on their end.
I was planning to step in after Tamati comes out.
Perfect.
Swap places. Then we can talk about it. But not now.
Are you going to wait until we get back from the goblins?
No,
just when he gets out.
I just when he comes out of the room, I was planning to flip back in.
So at that point, I burst through the door. Ah!
Goblin Hunter!
Don't step on me, please. I know I'm shorter than you, but I'm not that much shorter than you.
I'm like wedging myself out of the door because it's shorter and skinnier than I am. Ah.
So while you guys have been waiting out here, from the back corner, a female centaur in like full armor with green,
Yeah!
like green markings comes out of the back office that is just behind and to the left, next to.
Yeah.
And she just kind of nods at all of you as she walks past down the hall and says hello to Vindra and is on her way. So.
Centaurs!
Cool.
Hey, David.
I have to head to bed, guys. But
Good night.
Good night.
Got some good information for you.
Yeah!
Hey, David.
Thank you!
Yes.
Progression.
So Mason's a little bored, so he's going to practice a gun trick, kind of like without like thinking too much.
Okay.
What did I roll?
Performance.
Oh, you serious?
I don't know. That's what I do.
Yeah, for like a gun trick, roll performance.
Yes.
Which
10.
is hilarious because he has no charisma.
Yeah, he's kind of like
He invented guns. He has to start this.
yeah, he's like trying to spin the gun around, and it keeps like catching against his fingers. He can't quite flex them out of the way he wants to, but it's not the worst thing. But he's just kind of like
Meh.
At
Okay.
least it wasn't a
huh?
At least it wasn't one.
Yeah, if you'd rolled a natural one, then you would have just fired off a gun in the police station.
You don't even know what that is.
Love
But
that.
you can bet they would react to it.
Yeah.
A small explosion and a tiny...
Sorry.
We're busted.
Sorry.
Although, in fairness, you are next to the the magical crimes laboratory. That is probably the most likely place for there to be a small explosion in the entire building.
That's true.
So-
Yeah.
Okay, so since Tamati and Nip have come out of the office, I'm going to slip back in to the office.
Okay. Gareth looks up. Yes, Rin, was it?
Yes. Devanara.
Devanara.
Mm-hmm.
Relation of Lemarth Devanara?
He's my uncle.
Hmm.
And he's missing.
I'd heard. We've had reports. His guards mentioned that he had disappeared without warning, without leaving information or word with anyone. The men that he usually goes to train haven't seen him.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if we have quite enough information to consider him a missing person yet, but it's certainly raised our attention.
Okay. I just have been minorly concerned about it because my friends got into a scuffle with some people who apparently want him dead. So
Well, it's the cost of being a public figure in a city like this is that no matter how well liked you are, and no matter how friendly and pleasant your relations with people, sooner or later, if you're in a position of that much influence, you are going to piss someone off.
I pull the Aegis coin out of my bag and I put it on his desk. And do you know anything about this?
He pulls it over and picks it up and looks at it. I've seen the symbol once or twice. Can't say I know a great deal. We have found coins very much like this near bodies once or twice. And killings seemingly senseless out of nowhere. Occasionally we'd find these left behind. I don't believe that the killers intended to leave them, but they certainly weren't the belongings of those who were killed. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, for what my friends and I have collected about them, they are a group known as the Aegis, and they have ill motives, and they're after my uncle, at least, if not my whole family.
Well, that's just what we need, is one more problem to think about.
Sorry.
It's the job. Yep, just one more crazy cult on the streets or whatever. We'll keep our eyes open.
If you see him before, please warn him.
Certainly. We'll do anything we can to help your uncle if we hear any word from him.
Thank you.
And before I give this coin back to you, do you mind if Vindra makes an impression of it so that we can keep it in our records, keep an eye out for it? And he calls Vindra back in, and she makes a small flourish with her hands, and on a piece of paper she replicates the symbol on the paper so that they can put it into their records. And at that point, then Garen hands the coin back to you.
I'll just slip it back into my little pouch that I keep on my waist.
Yeah. Be careful out there. This sort of thing. Anytime there are conspiracies, and if they're aiming that high, Leomarth is not exactly the most accessible figure. If he's actually really under threat, then I would imagine that you and your friends would be under threat as well.
I agree.
Although if you've already tangled with them, then I suspect that you probably don't need me to tell you that.
No, but the concern is appreciated.
Anyway, unless there's anything else, I really should get back out.
I don't think so. Thank you for your time.
Of course.
And
Best of luck to you with this goblin slum business.
Thank you. We will not disappoint. And I leave.
I hope not.
Okay. So I went and told him, talking to the female.
Okay.
And he said they'll keep an eye out for him.
Good. I hope he surfaces soon.
Me too. Shall we go back to Mouse and Jisu?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see, I will gather up your tokens here.
After the kids, Jesu just sat down and was reading through his alchemy book.
Okay. See, I'm just going to put you back in the staircase there.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Anywhere, like in that front room, anywhere that you see those blue walls, those are meant to be like window walls, so you can see through them, but you're not supposed to be able to just pass through them, but like there's no way to do that in Roll20 right now. So, to block visibility, so like you could, if you wanted to just break the like just break the immersion, just walk through the glass, but let's not do
Boom.
that because
I rage.
I turn into a bird, go crazy.
Okay.
Good way to end our adventures for today. Jack
Cool.
Okay. To Mouse.
Yeah. Cool.
Let's check out some goblins.
Yeah.
Caminos. So I look at Vindra and say, can you lead the way?
she says, I certainly can.
Awesome.
Let's see, I'm going to
Prepare to walk really, really fast.
Jesu, so how did it go? Oh, hi, new person.
Oops, was that the right one? I think that's the right one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the token map or the icon map. Yeah, layer.
I just want to make sure it's actually her token because I have several tokens in that spot, and so
Yeah.
just
That
for like
one's Vindra.
when you have other NPCs, and so like right now, what I see is kind of like partially Vindra and partially Sorith's werebear form.
Yeah, so she's up top. We're good.
In fact, just so that I don't throw myself off, I'm going to go move that token away because it's throwing me.
Noise.
Just a second here. Where is the note I'm looking for? Sorry, guys.
It's number 52.
You're good.
Yeah. You're only playing everyone who has all the information that we need everywhere. So
Yeah.
It's pretty
You-
intense.
You are the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yeah. The Encyclopedia Tyrilethica.
yeah.
Okay, I guess that's... Alright, so she begins leading you in the direction of the goblin slums. And you're making better time than she was expecting to because of Tamati's abilities.
Stagability.
And you...
It's just fun to say.
yes.
Stagability.
Yeah, you make your way out to the one of the wings of the city opposite. I'm trying to remember. Let's see, this might be under the east arch because I think that it was the west arch that. Well, I could have it backwards. In any case, it's the opposite one from where you guys found the Kuruihi safe house.
Yeah.
And
By the way, lots of food supplies there if we stop back there, want to fill up a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you begin making your way, and it takes you.
Sorry.
The desk creaks every time you do that. So it's just not only is the picture shifting, it's just like accompanied by sound effects.
Sorry.
You're fine. But yeah, you make your way under the arch, and it gets darker. It takes you probably an hour and a half to get there. And Vindra is pleasant and chatty. She kind of just spends the time talking to you about things that sometimes she just gets off into technical discussions that you do not comprehend in the slightest. Like it's all, there's a lot of discussion of magical theory and things that but she's very chipper and friendly. Asks you about yourselves, and but as you make it further in, closer to the goblin slums, you can tell that it's pretty dirty in this part of the city. It is much less well kept and much more run down, and you see mostly goblins as you come into the slums.
Jesse pulls out his goblin language and grammar book.
Yeah.
With his 8 days of goblin study.
Yeah.
Say, That's
Like,
where
he
I
brings
feel
up-
like I am.
It's just like Dondi esta la biblioteca.
Oh man. That's a...
Ohio!
Ohayou gozaimasu. Sorry, you said Ohio. I couldn't help it.
What's up?
What's up?
Everybody knows that one. Sweet.
Just Ormegard, I believe is the pronunciation. Ormegard.
Ermagirsh. Oh wait, was it like Ermagirsh?
Hermagirsh.
Hermagirsh.
It's Durnder.
Ermagirsh.
Hermagirsh.
Ermagirsh.
But as you're getting closer to the slums, you can see that there are, even though you're not quite in the slums proper, there are a number of goblin settlements. They often seem to be in pretty serious states of disrepair. They're more lean-tos than anything. And Vindra says, well, as you can probably tell, we are very close now. There is... I'm not sure how you would want to do this. We could go and we could try to speak to some of the victims of the deaths. We could go speak directly to the goblins.
I
I'm
want
not sure. Like,
to kind of look around, see if I get a sense for magic. Like if there's if like the creature around is magical, if I can kind of pick up on that magic.
She can talk to dead people sometimes.
Hey.
That's fascinating. I can't say I've spoken to many dead people, unless you count Professor Odaluk. But there is. He wasn't actually dead. He just acted like.
Hey,
What?
oh, so yeah.
Want some juice?
Man, I should prepare like detect magic today or something. Because I've got spells.
Oh yeah. So can I do like just
And
a general sense?
Vindra says, I actually did prepare detect magic today. As a matter of fact.
Awesome.
Ta-da!
Well, then that would be better than what I.
She says it's a pretty short range spell though. It only really does me any good within 30 feet, and it only lasts 10 minutes each time I cast it. I prefer to cast it as a ritual. It takes a few minutes longer, but I would prefer not to be just, sort of like throwing away my spell slots willy-nilly.
Yeah.
You stupid one.
Perhaps we could go to the scene of this morning's incident and see if we can gather any fresh clues.
That would likely be the best option as far as a place to begin. So
Cool.
All right then.
She leads you off in the direction of where this most recent crime or attack or whatever you want to call it happened.
The scene.
And, a few minutes later, you arrive. It is just a little bit outside the realms of what you would consider the proper slums, and there is a line that has been put up where there are a number of other watchmen looking around, and Vindra just lifts the line up and waves you in. And as you approach, you can see that there is the body of a human that looks to have been pretty brutally savaged.
Ooh.
There is blood everywhere, and it's just not a pretty scene at all.
Seriously.
You just kind of say a quick prayer on their behalf.
Okay. And, Vindra kind of takes note of that and just quietly listens with some interest. It just is Like, it seems like it's academic interest more than anything. If you are, like, even if you're not saying it out loud, if you're just kind of, like, you know...
Moment
speaking
of
to yourself,
silence
she's-
kind of is
yeah,
more
She just kind
more what
of
I had
would
in mind.
She'd take note of it, at least. Let's see here. Oh, I'm trying to do too many things at once. What was I looking for? This is part of the problem with flying by the seat of my pants, is that sometimes I don't have stuff open. I'm like, I have to go look up a thing, and that means I have to go open a PDF, and that means I have to go find the folder that PDF is in.
Well, while you're doing that, I want to kind of start with if I can sense any magic to see if there's magic to detect before she casts it.
Okay.
Good call.
Yeah, like, she, by this time, has already begun doing the ritual to begin detect magic, but you can still make an arcana check.
Nope. I can't tell. I can't tell.
Yeah.
I'm kind of out of sorts today, I guess. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're not sure, but
A lot
Yeah,
has happened today.
yeah. But yeah, the body definitely is in very bad shape. It's pretty much impossible to tell at a glance whether it was a man or a woman.
Does it still have a mouth?
The face is gone pretty much. A lot of flesh is gone, just torn away.
Does it have teeth though? Because I can talk with a skeleton. Like, is the structure intact?
Yeah, the lower jaw is gone, but there is.
That wouldn't work then.
Sure, it would sound like this. Nasty. Terrible zombie movie comes to mind.
What's Goblin fart?
Speaking a different language.
And you actually, as you are looking around, you notice that centaur woman that you saw walking past you is here.
Sweet.
She's examining the scene as well.
We go up, talk to her, say, so, you noticed anything? I mean, like, we're here to help. How can we help?
You want to talk to people, or
Smooth.
He just kind of looks at you and, with a sort of a little bit of surprise and recognition, surprise at seeing you here.
Sure.
She says, "Oh, the commander sent you with Vindra, then."
Yeah. Give it some extra hands to help out. And...
She says, "Well, there are certainly a lot of questions to be had here. More hands and more eyes are welcome, as long as it's okay to see Vindra's with you. That'll be useful as well."
Yeah.
I do have a question for you.
What's that?
Have there been any bodies that have like a more complete facial structure than this one?
They've all been torn up pretty badly. None of them have been of enough integrity to be able to speak with dead, which I suspect is what you're getting at. If so, we would have reached out to one of the local clerics we work with from time to time, or
Sure.
other practitioner. But there's been. But
So when you say it's torn up, does it look more like bite marks, claw marks, weapons?
oh yeah, the survivalist dude.
Yeah.
yeah, make a. Trying to decide if I'd call that a nature check or a. Go ahead and make a nature check.
Which was survival. I got +4 in that. I got -1 in nature.
Yeah.
Oh, 10.
Yeah, you definitely recognize both distinct tooth and claw marks. It looks like that a lot of the flesh that is gone was torn away, probably eaten by a pretty large creature.
That's my next question. Is how big? If it was like a noticeably larger than a goblin creature. But
Sorry.
Yeah, definitely
you
larger than a goblin, and
smaller than a werebear, larger than a goblin. Okay. I'm just kidding.
yeah, the centaur says, "Yeah, we have people worried that it's some kind of goblin trick, but this seems to have been an animal attack of some kind. The only thing is that
Yeah.
animals of this size with this kind of tooth and claw patterns, we don't really get them in the city, not at this far in."
Yeah.
And you'd think there'd be more witnesses if there was.
Certainly.
Question: wasn't there some like other plane monster
There were
that attacked?
displacer beasts.
Yeah, like there's a displacer beast that attacked a caravan. That
We, if you're referring to the attack that happened, that was some ways north of here. That was in the Boundlands. We did get called in because the victim was a resident of Gate. But they, so far as we know, no displacer beasts have made their way this far. The ones that were there were hunted down, and although displacer beasts are quite nasty, I don't think that they would likely venture into a city as heavily populated as this one.
Could I go over
They're
to
smart enough
the?
to know that it would be dangerous.
Could I go over to the body and see if I could maybe identify what creature would have possibly done that?
Sure. Make an Arcana check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. 21.
Oh, jeez.
You are fairly certain just that there isn't like some level of magic left here, but more striking than that is the fact that although you said a little prayer to the Raven Queen, you know that usually in any body there is sort of like that has died this recently, there is something that you would recognize sort of as a soul residue. Not here.
Ooh.
You're not familiar with what would have done this, but you are definitely sensing that something is off here. That there was, like, usually even if the soul has moved on, there is evidence of it having been present, and there is no evidence that this person had a soul, basically, as far as you can tell.
Whoa.
Vindra, are you super busy right now?
Says, like, she kind of breaks her line of muttering, just to say, just finishing up the ritual, one moment. And,
I'll just wait.
Yeah, she finishes chanting and making some motions to tie up the ritual, and then she comes over and she says, there is whatever did this isn't nearby. There is definitely a magic aura around here. This creature was magical in nature, whatever it was. Did you have some further insight?
Yeah. This body appears to have had no soul. Normally after death, there's some residue of a soul being present. This body doesn't have it.
Well, that's troublesome and interesting. sort of thing could have...
It wouldn't be any kind of undead.
As far as I know, this was just an ordinary person, and I'm not familiar with any undead attackers, if that's what you mean, that would have that sort of effect.
What about necrotic magic? I'm not familiar with all of its properties, but
Can't imagine it would have that sort of effect on soul residue.
Mm.
But... and the centaur woman cuts in and says, supposedly the family of the deceased did see a goblin poking around this area in the last couple of days. So that is part of the reason that they suspect a goblin.
Interesting.
In any case, if it was a goblin, they used methods unfamiliar to us to do this.
Has anyone investigating these attacks actually interviewed any goblins?
And the centaur woman nods and she says, we've tried. The goblins, so far as we have spoken to them, have had no knowledge of any of this. They don't seem to have anything to give us. At least the ones that I've interviewed, I'm fairly certain they weren't lying about it. They didn't know what this was. So far as they were aware, it was not one of their own, but could mean that it isn't one of their own, or it could mean that they just aren't aware of the situation.
Interesting.
I feel like I should be able to do something more here, but I don't have any ideas.
Is there a certain smell that we could follow?
Do we dare?
I always dare. That's my problem.
I mean, do we have a couple of spells we can use to put him down?
Yeah, I'm going to ask Vindra, so you say you noticed a magical aura. Can you tell which direction that aura is headed? Or is it just that there was an aura?
It's not something I can exactly follow.
Fair enough. Yeah, I guess I can't turn into Werebear and do smelling.
You could try.
It might just smell like blood.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. A big pile of blood meat sitting on the ground.
Horrible massacre. Did they have
Giant Werebear too. Yeah.
Or we
At
have
a murder
bigger
crime scene, there was more murder.
That's what's killed everyone.
Samadhi.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ooh, wait. I think Nip actually has that too.
Ooh.
Let me check.
Perception with smell?
I could be wrong, but yeah. Advantage on perception checks that rely on smell.
Yeah, Nip can try making a perception check.
Stupid not
anything out of
perception.
anything out of place?
That's on recording.
And the,
Okay, cool. So Nips, just so we don't risk Tamati murdering us.
Oh, man.
I'm sure you'll be able to come out sooner or later.
Okay, so 16.
Nice.
Yeah, it's Nip is just kind of a little bit overwhelmed by the smell of the blood and the filth of the goblin slums nearby. It's not a great smelling part of the city to begin with, and it kind of covers whatever. There's no real way to pick anything out beyond that.
Nips has a sensory overload.
Yeah.
I want to have Loki kind of fly around and see if he notices blood marks or scuffs or anything kind of just out of place within like 5 miles of the area.
Okay.
Just to kind of see if we can see like, oh, there's blood in this direction. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, have Loki make a perception check.
Which, hold on. Oh, I thought I saw something about him having advantage on that because he's a raven, but I must be wrong.
That's the big question. Are there traps?
Yeah. Thought about that too. It was like,
I
oh, I
realized
should use
this
my
is-
nature check. I mean, my survival check to look for traps.
Shoot, I thought about that, but I guess he doesn't.
Tracking.
Can I do it instead?
If you merge
Can I
with
morph?
Loki,
Can I
then-
merge? Okay. Because
Then
my
you can
perception
only-
is much better than his.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, way better. Oh, and I needed it. 18.
Nice.
Hey.
Yeah, you spend a little while looking around the area, and you don't see any blood. Tracks leading away from the scene seem to be scuffed over by the other activity. Enough people move around in the area that tracks were probably covered even in the dust of this area.
There's
So
no like
it's-
scuffs on the wall from a large creature coming through, or
No, nothing that you spot. There's just
dang
it,
it! If I
like,
hadn't
there's-
rolled so badly, that would have been awesome. Freaking! I rolled a 9.
Ooh. Bummer.
Happens to all of us. I rolled a 3.
Yeah.
No, 4.
But, the centaur woman turns and says, well, if we're going to be working together to any extent, then I suppose it would likely be best if we actually introduced ourselves. And she
Probably
says,
a good
I
idea.
am Detective Chief Inspector Zarathedra Monoforda Tathakravataras, but you can call me Zareth, everyone does, much simpler. Like that.
All right.
I suppose I should be taking note.
Since no one's going to be able to spell that after hearing it once, I'm just going to try.
Zarathedramnif.
Zara.
Zarathedra Monoforda Tathakravataras.
That is a
Wow.
heck of a name.
Wow.
I am Tamari.
Yeah, she says,
I haven't come out of life yet, so I kind of perch on his shoulder.
okay. But, yeah, she just has introduced herself. She says, I've been assigned to this because, well, I'm the only person of a high enough rank that isn't otherwise engaged at the moment to be present on the scene and to take charge of the investigation. So the commander is busy, and some of my colleagues are assigned to other cases. So I am stuck with this one. Honestly, not where I would prefer to be.
Yeah. Never is. Do you know anything about the lay of the land? Like, is there any caves or anything close by that this thing could hide in?
Sewers, like a sewer entrance or something.
Yeah, sewer system.
This is possibly nearby sewer entrances. No kind of cave entrances for at least 2 miles from here.
Are the attacks concentrated or are they very spread out?
They have been concentrated within about half a mile of this particular goblin slum. There's more than one neighborhood where goblins are living. This is the largest one, but there are a couple of other neighborhoods. However, all of the attacks have been localized directly around this one so far. They do seem, at least by my calculation, to be moving slightly further out, however.
Are there anything like that I don't know, are there any patterns, any stuff that the victims have in common?
No, the attacks seem to be completely random. No real pattern to be found for race, for sex, for occupation. They seem to be completely unrelated to one another.
Have any goblins been attacked?
Well, honestly, if they have, we likely didn't hear about it. Goblin deaths, unfortunately, often go unreported. Where they are reported, they are seldom investigated. It's a shame, but I believe that things may change under Commander Shieldright, but under Commander Orhane, there was sort of an attitude that the Goblin's business was their own, and that if bad things happened to Goblin, that we had more important things to allocate our resources to.
Interesting.
I believe Commander Shieldright will likely be considerably more willing to invest effort in the goblins, but that still doesn't mean we'll hear about everything the goblins often. I think the goblins fear reporting things because they fear calling attention to themselves too much.
Sure.
Even
sense.
in Gate, they deal with a fair amount of prejudice.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Well, do you want to talk to the victims' families? Do you want to talk to the goblins?
I mean, seems like we're closest to the victim's family now, right?
Sure.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I just assumed that the closest to them.
Yeah.
What?
They're building on them investigation. The goblin.
Yeah, let's do that. Me too.
Yeah. And then
Lovely.
goblins.
Oh,
Are we
That's
There we
back?
go.
yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't really hear all that much of what you guys said.
We're looking at going to the victims' families.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was everybody apparently.
Yeah. Go talk to the victims, then go talk to the goblins. See if we can walk around enough and get ourselves attacked.
Oh, here we go again, maybe.
Something. Atmos,
Just
yeah.
Atmos has just stopped playing.
Atmos is sure struggling right now.
Atmos is attacked. Ah!
It's the next victim.
Yes. Atmos, you okay there?
Don't worry, I have some backup music. Maybe.
We're experiencing some technical difficulties.
Tonight's
Oh yeah, yeah.
What you call it, Chris? I was trying to figure out what you call this. Magical Crimes Unit? MCU? Tonight on MCU.
Is this actually going to work? Let's find out. There we go.
Nice.
Maybe a little.
Back to our regularly scheduled program. Regularly scheduled program. Wow.
Yeah.
Voice. Speaking network. Okay. To the victim's family.
Okay, let me see. I just wanted to see if
You
there was
guys are the
anything else
professionals.
Indra wanted to do on the scene there. She has a friggin' million
We're
spells.
here to Pinata the monster.
Yay!
Wizards!
I know, like, I took like 8
Cast
days worth of
Detect
Goblin.
Monster.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to smash it.
Yeah.
Let's see what other skills we have.
Let's see.
What about the spell Discover Plot?
Yeah, I don't think there's really much else that she can do on the scene at the moment, so.
That's a...
Yeah.
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 That was not.
I'd like to apply the spell of rewind time 3 days.
Love that spell.
It would be funny if there was like just detect plot point as a spell.
Yeah.
It's a 9th level
It's right
spell.
here.
Oh, did you see the one
All
where it's
wrapped up
like,
nice and neat for
the
you.
character realizes he's just
Very
a fictional
powerful
world
magic.
based on numbers. His person.
The guy, I want to roll for metagame knowledge. Yeah. He's a little plastic piece. He looks up. He sees giants standing around with pens and papers, talking and screaming at each other. Chip dust flying out of their mouths and soda cans flying across the room. And he realizes that he's an insignificant member of this world.
Yeah.
Remember, you did this to your character.
It becomes his sincerest ambition to try to escape. Like, hey man, have you seen my character sheet? This is like the 3rd time today it's disappeared.
I'm coming in to steal a soda.
Okay.
Turn off the screens.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
I don't think there's anything that Vindra can do at the moment on the scene, so with her bajillion spells.
Yeah.
Oh, the Baja!
Yeah. Baja Blast!
Baja Blast!
Sounds like a Dragon Ball Z character's special move.
Yes.
Baja Blast!
Ooh.
Alright, so
And a
Vindra
back.
Vindra accompanies you in to speak to the family of the victim.
Sweet.
And DCI Zareth stays outside. She is still directing the investigation and has already done some questioning, so she's...
Cool.
But you see that there is a very kind of... this whole area of town is poor, whether you are a goblin or not, and so it's a pretty squalid little hut, and there's a very kind of dirty man inside that is just kind of looks dazed. He's probably in his early 30s somewhere. He doesn't even really react as you walk in.
Anybody got ideas?
What was his relation to the victim?
Yeah, maybe we should talk to Zareth about what she talked to him about, because he's in he's in grief shock right now, whatever his relation was.
True.
Yeah, that's the question.
Because I mean, if she's already talked to him, she might give us a better idea if we have questions for him.
She said something about they saw a goblin nearby and that they suspect goblins.
Does he know the goblin, or is it just a... General, like, questions?
It's always the husband, right?
I feel like... So, did the
What's that?
victim's family know the goblin, or was it just like... Just the GM, because I feel that would have come up in the conversation.
Who are you asking?
Yeah, you guys haven't asked Zareth about it, exactly what information. She gave you a little bit, but that was just offered up. Like, if you asked her specifically, she'd tell you more, but up to this point, it isn't.
Yeah, I'm going to leave the hut for now and go back to talk with Zareth.
Okay.
Oh, he is really in a rough state right now. Goodness.
Yes, we haven't been able to get a great deal out of him. We've been trying to be as diplomatic as possible. Luckily, I have subordinates to delegate, so not exactly my strong point.
While she's talking with Zareth, I want to kind of check for magic in the hut.
Okay.
Because he's acting strange. Five, natural 1.
You don't detect any kind of magic in there at all. You don't feel like there's any magic. You'd have to assume this is probably just grief.
Okay.
How was he related to the victim?
It's one of the few things we've been able to get out of him. He was the victim's husband.
Have you been able to speak to any of their neighbors to understand a bit more?
a bit. Neighbors have confirmed the same thing. One or two of them saw a goblin poking around these parts in the last couple of days before this happened. None of them actually saw it happen, though.
Yeah. Because it happened early this morning, correct?
Correct.
Have you made any attempts to find or identify the goblin that was reported seen?
We would certainly try if we thought that we had any real chance of it, but to be honest, people have a hard time telling goblins apart from one another. It is, I think that it's not so much that all goblins look alike as it is that people perceive them that way out of fear or out of just... They don't look closely enough to be able to really give us very good descriptions.
Yeah, I can tell it's a goblin, that's all it is.
Yeah. And from those that we've spoken to, they didn't really get a very good look at this intruder in any case. It's just... they saw the shape of a goblin poking around, and that's about all they could have told us.
And it was intruding, it wasn't just walking around like a common citizen goblin?
No, seemed to have been like looking around the area, trying to peer into windows, that sort of thing.
Interesting.
So we asked about clothing. That didn't get us much further. Many goblins around this area are too poor or too disinterested in clothing to wear much more than loincloths.
Hmm. Do we know from the neighbors or the husband what the victim's occupation was?
We haven't been able to find out from the husband, and whatever it was, they kept their business to themselves. The neighbors didn't know either of them that well. Seems that they were fairly recent transplants to the area from elsewhere. Not well established here.
Interesting. Were the other victims more established residents, or have they moved? Were they recently moved as well?
They, as far as I can tell, were all more established, yes.
Okay. What's the timeline? The Commander Garen said it was early this morning.
Yeah, it's early this morning for this most recent death, before sunrise. And the others were within the last couple of weeks. Doesn't seem to be any kind of steady timeline. It's been seemingly random intervals.
And there haven't been any witnesses to the attacks, even though they've been at different times. I can understand them before sunrise, because fewer people are about at that time.
All of the attacks were either late at night or very early in the morning.
Okay. In the dark hours.
Although, in fairness, it is fairly dark in this part of town, no
That is
matter
true.
what time of day it is.
It is. That is true. But that is interesting that it was still in the evening, morning, natural dark hours, even though it is significantly darker here on average.
Yes, we've suspected that there must be some significance to that. We, so far, don't really have much of an idea of what sort of creature we're dealing with here.
And with the other attacks, there were also other goblins seen similarly, sneaking around, poking around before the attack?
Yes, it was the first attack. No goblins were seen. It seemed to happen at random. We had no reports, but each of the attacks since then someone has noticed a goblin poking around.
That is interesting. That makes me want to go talk to some goblins. Because if perhaps it almost seems like they may be looking for something or have some sort of connection with it, if not committing the attacks, as it seems unlikely.
Well, you're welcome to try. We honestly don't know where to begin. We don't have a description of this goblin. We don't have any real knowledge about this goblin, and it's a bit of a needle in a haystack, really. We can't exactly just wander into the goblin slums and begin asking every goblin if they've seen a suspicious goblin. We have some.
True. Do goblins have any known sort of contained hierarchy or their own leadership within them?
They may. We honestly have little contact with the goblins.
All right.
Personally, I believe that the best course of action may be to ask if the goblins have been experiencing any similar attacks, such violence for this that has gone unreported. So we haven't had the chance to ask them ourselves, nor would we know exactly where to begin, but it may be a good line of questioning.
Yeah. Perhaps, what do you think? I turn to everyone else and say, what if we went to search out this goblin line of questioning while Zareth and Vindra stay here, continue working here?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
I mean, Vindra could come with us.
Yeah.
If you feel so inclined. If not, then you can stay here and help. But
Vindra says, I'm willing either way. I could poke around the scene more, see if I can gather up any more information, or I could come with you and assist if needs be.
Yeah, and if we inquire if the goblins have been having the same problem, then there may potentially be other crime scenes to investigate, or scenes.
It may be best for me to come along then.
All right.
And Zareth says, well, if Vindra is going to accompany you and you have any need of assistance, then have Vindra send me a message and I will make my way to you as quickly as possible if you need backup.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Good. We will do that.
And she kind of reaches to her back and just kind of pats the handle of a halberd that she has. She just says, if there's any trouble, I've had a long few days. Could stand to let off a little bit of steam.
Me too.
Yeah. We have a similar situation.
I'm just being kind of quiet because I'm trying to wrap my head
'Cause you're a
around.
raven.
That's true. I am a raven.
Yeah.
I am a raven. I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that there was no soul residue in the body.
Yeah, that's pretty creepy.
That's true. Okay, to the goblins.
To the goblins!
Alright, so you make your way deeper into the actual goblin slums proper, and you get some kind of wary looks from the goblins that are there as they see you approaching. You get the impression that anytime anybody that isn't a goblin comes in here, they kind of get a little bit on edge, just in case anything bad is going to happen to them if they're going to be
Sure.
attacked.
Jesse's trying to carry his goblin language book so like people can see him. He's just saying hi. He can everyone in goblin and smiling and trying to just be like,
Yeah, would we have
Full-on
learned
tourist.
like the basic like hello in Hobgoblin or anything?
I imagine.
You'd probably pick up at least that much. But the question is how well you retain that.
Right. I'm gonna think that Zafine would at least remember a greeting,
Yeah.
like a basic greeting, and I want to go up to one of the hobgoblins, express that greeting to the best of my memory, and to maybe the least wary goblin that seems around, if any of them.
Yeah.
And see, we
I'm gonna hop over after Zafine.
trying to think of what to say. We are here to ask some. Oh, do you have? We would like to speak to the goblin leaders. Do you have any goblin leaders here? Something like that.
Yeah.
More suave.
Yeah, the goblin looks kind of wary about all this, but does seem to be slightly comforted by your greeting in goblin,
Mm-hmm.
and answers in common. Says, well, you could speak to Kemgerd. Kemgerd is... we don't have a leader per se, but Kemgerd tries to take care of us, tries to make sure that we have what we need.
Sounds like. Thank you. Before we go see Kengerd, there have been some attacks to around your homes. Have you been experiencing attacks as well? Do you know? Have you heard of any attacks upon goblins as of late?
While you are asking the question, like, you see the goblin open its mouth almost as if to start protesting and be like, we didn't do it, as soon as you say there have been attacks around, and then when you ask if there have been attacks, goblin's just kind of a little taken aback by the question. Have we? Yes, there have several goblins have disappeared over the last month. Disappeared or been found in more than one place.
Yes.
Jeez.
Do you know if is that about the same time frame? We've been talking about the time a lot, but I just don't remember.
It goes back further than these than the murders outside the slums by
Okay.
a couple of weeks. It's only been a couple of weeks outside the slums, and this goblin said it's been over the last month. This has been happening inside as well. So.
It seems as if has anyone been able to witness any of these?
No one's seen anything. Yeah, I imagine the victims likely saw something.
Yes, certainly. Seems like it's something. These attacks are originating from somewhere within your home area. Could you direct us to Kengerd, and we would like to help find the source of these attacks and bring an end to them.
And the goblin kind of still looking confused about all of this, just that they're outsiders that actually seem to have any interest in the goblins and what happens to them seems to have really thrown this goblin.
Jesse yells, "We're friends with the hobgoblins!" All good.
I don't know that would actually be very comforting to them, considering how frequently hobgoblins have enslaved goblins throughout their history.
Never mind. Never mind, I don't do that.
Yeah, the goblin with these goblins, they're often just kind of dressed in rags, and it's not being very familiar with how goblins' appearances and the differences between male and female goblins. You're not super familiar with it, and so you're not entirely sure whether the goblin that's helping you is male or female, but they introduce themselves as Rootvoget, and they lead you through the slums until they arrive at a shabby lean-to that doesn't really look any bigger or nicer than any of the others, but they point at this one and they say, this is Kengerd's house. You can ask him for help.
This time I rode over his shoulder.
You rode over what?
On Zephine's shoulder.
Okay.
Thank you, Rootvoget. Greatly appreciated, and I hope that we can find resolutions for these attacks soon.
Rootvoget kind of just like jumps a little bit as but nods and says, most kindred don't care what happens to us. I hope you can help us.
As do I. You're a kindred citizen of Gate, and this is a problem that affects not only you, but definitely has originated with you, and I hope we bring it to a resolution. And I turn towards the house.
Okay.
I say, thank you for your time, and kind of do a little bow. And as I say that, I say the only word I know in Goblin, which is a swear word. The only one that stuck.
Rootvoget just kind of like grins, like a little bit confused, but
Let's walk off.
Brenda's little kind of like face palms.
Raven facepalm.
Yeah. Face wing.
Yeah. Beak wing.
Just does the like bird like hiding under the
Yeah.
under the wing thing. But, yeah, there, like most of the lean-tos that you've seen here, there isn't even a door on the building. It is just kind of, it's a stretch to even call it a building. It's really more a pile. Like it is, the goblins live in pretty awful conditions. So.
Okay, so instead of knocking on said pile and risking its structural integrity, I kind of project my voice in, excuse me, Kengerd, we were directed to you we're seeking to resolve the attacks. We're trying to learn about them, and we were told that you might be able to help us.
And from inside, you just hear this. Just a minute. And a few moments later, this just what looks to be the oldest goblin in the world, possibly, walks out. This sort of slouched over little old man that has sort of wispy hair coming down from their chin. Their hair is completely white. He's just very wrinkled and gnarled, and the normally kind of yellowish skin that most goblins that you've seen have is kind of faded to more of a parchment kind of color. It's and Kemgerd says, "Who are you?"
I'm Zafine. My companions and I are the Emerald Wing. We are here with representatives from Watch. We are investigating the attacks that have been happening around Goblin Slums, and we've learned that it seemed to be originating from within the slums here, and we are looking for their source.
Kemgerd kind of snorts. Of course the City Watch cares about it, now that it's actually stretched beyond our area.
That is unfortunate. That is wise and perceptive of you, though not difficult to perceive. But yes.
And Vindra does say, for what it's worth, things are changing in the City Watch. The new commander will likely be kinder and more inclusive, more caring of goblins as with all other citizens. Kemgerd just kind of stares at her. Well, we'll see. What do you want from me then?
Do you know what's causing the attacks?
Yeah. We were told that you kind of watch over the goblins of this area, and figured with one with such a watchful eye, you may have seen something.
Or have information to help us understand better.
Well, I might have suspicions. Nothing very strong. Nothing that I can be sure of.
It's more than what we have right now, so...
You're really here to help.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Can I be assured that this won't be used to spread fear about goblins, that it won't just be used as an excuse to attack us or drive us out?
I'm gonna fly over and perch on his.
Yeah. I don't know how comforting that'll be.
Shoot!
I bamf out.
And he's just kind of like a little bit shocked and taken aback, and it's just you.
Oh man.
Our intention is just, excuse me, to fix the problem, not to shift blame.
He turns to Zafine and is just like, Your crow turned into a person.
I'm a raven.
Our person has the ability to turn into a raven. And I'm sure she was only trying to reassure you in that form. I'm sorry that it was so disconcerting.
Just kind of gives you a wary look and takes a couple of uneasy steps
I
away.
use prestidigitation to do like a shiny.
Just kind
Innocent.
of continues to give you this wary look.
I kind of walk in front of Rin.
Hey!
Just ignore her.
I'm gonna climb up his back and like hang off of his neck so I can still see.
Yeah, but he turns back to Zafine and says, well, look, sometimes it is very, very rare. Hasn't happened to, well, anyone outside of stories for as far as I am aware, for hundreds of years at least, but sometimes goblin children are born wrong.
Oh dear.
It's usually not very noticeable at first, but there is something strange, empty about them. And eventually, sometimes these goblin children begin to transform, shift. What? Who did we lose just then?
I don't know.
Sadie.
We lost Sadie.
Oh, she's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Born empty.
these wrong goblin children are, some say, demon-touched. But we call them barguests. Honestly, before the last few weeks, I would have said the whole thing was just a tale to frighten children. But barguests are goblins that can transform into big, almost dog or wolf-like forms.
Oh dear.
They keep their nature secret. They keep it secret for as long as they can. Right up until it is no longer possible, because when the body count starts to rise, eventually it becomes too noticeable, but they still try to maintain their secrets. And our guests kill and eat creatures, but when they feed, they not only eat flesh, but devour the soul as well.
That explains it.
What the? Still there?
The souls are said to be trapped, at least until they are consumed. If the barguest can be killed within 24 hours of one of its one of its victims, then at least that soul could be released. However, they grow stronger, more powerful, larger with every soul they consume.
Oh.
And it's said that if they consume enough souls, according to tradition, it's 17 in total, that they will be opened, the way will be opened to the abyss for them to take their place alongside other demons.
Oh,
Just asked. Well, how many
How many attacks?
attacks on goblins have there been?
There have been 7 deaths here. And
jeez.
We're looking at 11 then?
And Vinder, how many out in the city?
4 so far,
4.
counting this morning's.
Okay.
Says if this is true, then this Barghest would be growing in power and likely approaching its goal.
Are there any legends of how to track them down or like weaknesses they have?
They're very secretive. They avoid taking their true form when if they believe that they even might be observed in it, or while transforming. They have some amount of magic. They're very dangerous, and the more souls they've devoured, the stronger they become.
Do you have any thoughts of where? I mean, I guess where one would be is not like the right term. But
Could we gather the children together?
is anybody suspicious?
By the time it's old enough to transform, it's likely considered an adult.
Okay.
The transformation does not begin until later.
Would this be an evil creature?
Absolutely. What?
Just making sure.
I was just wondering why Chris is gasping.
Yeah.
Well, doesn't Tomato have like, don't clerks have like detect good and evil or something?
Detect good and evil? Yeah,
Do you have
I can learn it. No,
Which?
it's
I
a
believe,
level 1. It's
yeah, I
30
believe,
minutes, or 30 feet around me for 10 minutes.
I believe one of the effects of that is that you can sense fiends, and he has described
That's true, yep.
the
Yep,
Barghest
elemental,
as
fae, fiend, or undead within 30 feet. As well as where the creature is located. Ooh.
Could you do that? And could we run, like, are the slums small enough that you could just run through the whole slums in 10 minutes? Get a radar ping?
I could do a pretty good distance with the stag and everything else, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I haven't
pretty.
prepared.
It's a pretty densely packed area, but you'd probably be able to cover a decent amount of ground doing that.
About how big are the slums?
If you had to guess, you would say that the goblin slums here, this being the largest one in town, as you've been told, they stretch probably about a mile one way and anywhere between a half mile and 3/4 of a mile in the other dimension. It kind of
Okay.
ranges in size throughout.
Found the wrong bar guess.
Yeah.
just find all the bar guests.
Knock knock.
I mean, I can do that, but I have to prepare the spell. Don't I have to do like a rest to do that? It's like the next day I can prepare.
A long rest if you don't already have it prepared
You
the
know,
day.
I'm gonna start keeping that one on hand. That's pretty fantastic.
Okay, so we can't do that today.
Let's see. I should see if Vindra has that actually. I'm not sure if she can or not. That might not be one that's available to wizards.
I'm better than a wizard. Oh, just kidding.
No, that's only available to clerics and paladins. So, and maybe one or two types of wizards that get a little bit of divine casting, that kind of thing. But
Sure,
she doesn't specialize in that. So,
Right.
Yeah, sure.
Kingard, we've noticed that the Barghest seems to be expanding where they're attacking. Why would that be? Why would they not just stay within the goblins? Why would they expand? And is that something that perhaps could indicate where they would be striking next?
As it grows stronger, it likely seeks out stronger prey, moving beyond goblins to larger creatures.
Okay, that makes sense.
Well, we could always spend the night here.
How late is it now?
It's early evening, I'd say, by the time you made it over here.
Because we're a bunch of big, juicy targets if we're still here.
That's true.
That is true. We might just be a magnet.
So, between that and then I detect good and evil in the morning, we can chase it down.
If it doesn't hunt us down in the night, you mean?
Well, if it hunts us down in the night, we're already ready for it. So, I mean,
Right. I just wonder if, like, it would still be attacking the kindred outside the slums if we would be enough of a lure. We might be enough of a lure. I mean, should we just do that? Just camp out here, and if we don't contact it, just go for the detect evil?
Yeah, I mean, we've painted ourselves a pretty good target walking around the town, especially around the goblins. Word's gonna spread that we're wandering around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so, I mean, that...
So, Vindra, could you message Zareth and let her know we would like to stay here and continue the investigation overnight, and we might have a confrontation in the night. I don't know if you want to stay for that. I think that's what we're planning to do.
Well, I'm willing to stay and help.
Okay.
DCI Zareth might also want to come help, however, I suspect that would draw her away from the investigation directly for too long.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, she's nearby. You can always still message her for help if needed.
Good. That would
What would you be using to message her?
sending. From this distance, I can use a sending spell. It is a more
I assumed we were
powerful-
too far for message itself, but...
Yeah. Says it is among the more powerful magics I'm capable of casting, and so I would like to minimize the number of uses of it that I have to make in a day.
Sure.
However, if needs be, I can.
Oh, I did have a question about my Whispering Wind. Is that a spell slot, or is that something else because it was a different racial something or other?
Yeah, it's still a spell slot.
Okay.
but it doesn't count against your number of spells known for
Gotcha. Cool.
how many you are allowed to know as a sorcerer. It doesn't count against that, but when you use it, it still costs a first level spell slot. So.
Okay. That's what I thought, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe we can just go. We can just go there and tell her what we're doing while we set up camp here.
Yeah.
I can fly back.
Yeah, totally.
That would probably be the fastest way to go about it.
Okay, I merge with Loki again and I fly off.
Okay.
All right.
And Kengard we're gonna stay tonight. Is there anywhere that you can recommend that there's space for us to set up an evening camp?
Anywhere you can find an empty space that no one is sleeping in at the moment.
All right.
The slums are just kind of crowded and like where there are actual buildings, they often seem to have been there before. They're kind of falling apart and they're pretty packed.
Okay. Well, find some place to set up a camp.
Yeah. And how many tents do you have? You know,
Like 12.
We had quite a few tents, yeah.
I think I have 5 of them.
I got two-person tents, so.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm gonna check my inventory here.
Well, I'm not really concerned about being in a tent. I'm okay.
Oh, I apparently have 3. I have 3 tents, so. Goblins
Did
for
we-
all the hobgoblins and kept them all.
I was gonna say, did we take all those ones we were letting the hobgoblins use?
I think so.
No.
'Cause they were held up in the city afterwards, and so.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we
I'll leave a
probably
tent.
have like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to make dinner.
Oh yeah.
Wait till I come back.
I'm making enough. I know we
Don't
have
start
somebody to
without
do
me.
it.
Call me whatever you like, but don't call me late for dinner.
Nice.
For the rest of the evening, I'm just gonna ask Kingard if I can like practice goblin with him.
Okay. And Kengard just kind of looks at you oddly, but agrees to it.
Yeah, I invite him to come share dinner with us, and I want to brush up on my goblin.
Why do you guys always do the goblin lessons when I'm gone?
Yeah.
It's just
You'll be
easier.
back. It's not that far if you're gonna
It's
go and tell
easier?
her and come
What does
back.
that mean?
Good, Britain's gone.
Nothing.
Fritz,
whole
gone.
time-
Let's start the lesson. Hurry, quick.
Right.
The myth is trying to like hide like, just how he's kind of like, just like this warm area and stuff.
Yeah. And let's see, when you are pretty quickly able to fly over,
Cool.
and
So-
Zareth does not react the way that a lot of people do when you transform. She just kind of observes and is not really bothered by that.
She's a centaur. She's awesome.
So, we learned that we may have some more answers in the slums. It is not a goblin, we shall say. But it is originating in slums where they are located. So we're staying overnight to investigate further. Kind of stake it out there for the evening, and then if nothing happens overnight, which we're kind of hoping, I think, that something happens. But if not, then we'll have better tools that we can utilize to find more answers tomorrow.
Very well. Well, if you have need of my help, then contact me. I will make it there as quickly as possible.
And I fly off.
Yeah. Like, and I stand there doing this for a second, and then I actually fly off. Like that.
That's how she merges.
Yeah.
That's the semantic.
Let it go and mourn its loss.
Yes. Let's see.
That probably looks really ridiculous. I'm interested to see it when the video goes up.
All right. Well, you make your way back, and although I was actually trying to pull stuff together, I now see what time it is. I think maybe
I know.
you guys
That might be good.
making camp.
Unfortunately.
You guys making camp for the night is probably a good place to call it.
Yeah, but that was a good session. We got answers and things figured. We're set.
We're doing stuff.
I'm excited. I can use spells for a good reason.
Right, and hopefully my like 95% lack of preparation didn't show through too much.
Nah, it worked out good.
Nope.
It's fun. It's just the aimlessness in the start. We're like, okay, where do we want to go? Oh,
Right.
no! I have control of this and I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know exactly what was going to end up going down at the police station, so like having a complete map of it was the way I wanted to go. That could still end up getting used at some point for whatever reason, I don't know, but it's just one of those things where like,
Yeah, well,
yeah,
we do your
just
jailbreak.
just in case you guys do try to go into the police station and bust a guy out of it.
That'll be very useful.
Yeah.
Does that look better, Shara?
What?
Shara
I made
can't
the ear a little bit.
see
Oh,
the
you're not on the
Facebook
video. Okay,
I'm
never
not.
mind. Well,
like,
that
that
was
looks
dumb.
good.
Don't mind me.
Should be able to see it in the video.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a couple days to get up, but
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna send Craig away.
bye,
Bye,
Craig.
Craig.
Bye,
Goodbye,
Craig.
Craig.